Yeah. You ever lose so much you stop feeling it? Then one day the blessings hit like a fucking hurricane. Yeah. I'm in that chapter now. I'm on the ride of my life. Hey. I'm on the ride of my life. I'm on the ride of my life. Everything try to bring me, I told that shit not quite. Took every L, turned the pain into my highlight. Now doors open up for me like come inside. I'm on the ride of my life. Yeah, the old me's dead, I ain't looking behind. All this success got me feeling divine. Fuck what they think, I was built for the climb. Had some fake friends say they'd always stay down. Next week acting like they barely came round. People love you when you up, when you sink they drown. So I cut the snakes early, I don't play with clowns. All these late nights stressing, trying to make ends meet. Now I'm eating real good, something like a king's feast. Took every punch life through, stayed on my fucking feet. Now I shine so bright, even pain looks sweet. Haters talking but they whisper now. They ain't built for what I walk through, different style. I'm chosen, I'm focused, I know this now. They doubted, I rose and I own this now. All that heartbreak, all that fear and trauma made a man out of me, not a runner. And every closed door just brought me another. Now I'm done stressing, I'm blessed like a motherfucker. I'm on the ride of my life. I'm on the ride of my life. Everything try to break me, I told that shit not quite. Took every L, turned the pain into my highlight. Now doors open up for me like come inside. I'm on the ride of my life. Yeah, the old me's dead, I ain't looking behind. All this success got me feeling divine. Fuck what they think, I was built for the climb. Now I'm waking up peaceful, no drama near. Had to cut off weak energy, keep my mind clear. Now the love I get real, yeah, the vibe's sincere. Ain't no fear left in me, I'm the one they cheer. Got family depending on my next big win. Got angels protecting me from more fake friends. Used to pray for these moments every damn night then. Now I live every blessing like amen again. Won battles I ain't mentioned cause it's none of they biz. Took kids that would've folded less of men where they sit. Now I'm rich in my spirit and I'm rich in my grit. Fuck the past, I'm alive and I'm built for this shit. Yeah, I've been running through hell just to touch this light. Had to lose my heart just to get it back right. Had to cut off people who ain't treat me right. Now I'm up, way up out of sight. I'm on the ride of my life. I'm on the ride of my life. Everything tried to break me, I told her shit not quite. Took every L, turned the pain into my highlight. Now doors open up for me like come inside. I'm on the ride of my life. Yeah, the old me's dead, I ain't looking behind. All this success got me feeling divine. Fuck what they think, I was built for the climb.
Welcome to the lounge, where we challenge accountability. I'm Urban, and we don't do surface talk here. We use emotional intelligence. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Every beat a question, every bar a lesson. I turn the mic to a mirror, life's a session. Urban in the mix, soul and intellect blend. We ain't just talk truth, we set trends from Dallas to the world. We break that ceiling, no clout, just facts, that's the real feeling. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Trap drums drop, but the message don't fade. Every thought sparks like a hand grenade. Faith, pain, love, and drive all collide, that's how minds revive. All collide, that's how minds revive. Thought-provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking. Mind open wide like a city skyline. Every topic shaped by design, the urban lounge where ideas ignite. Late night thoughts under podcast lights. Every episode of thought design, the urban lounge where iron sharp iron, we build from the ground like truth rewiring. Can't fake what's felt when the mic's ignited. If you listening now, you already invited. Thought provoking, mind in motion, truth be stirring, deep emotion. No filters, no faking. This here, thought-provoking.
Warning. The following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Real quick community guidelines before we start the show. Now I want y'all to know that this is a space for respectable, thought-provoking conversations. We encourage intelligent discussions, different viewpoints, and respectable debates. Disagree if you want, but do it with substance and respect. Self-promotion is not allowed. This is not your billboard. Links, spam, and promotions in the comments or in live chat will be blocked immediately. Distasteful trolling, insults, or bad faith behavior will not be entertained. You will be blocked and banned. No warnings, no back and forth. Finally, y'all will notice that the subscriber mode is on. It is only for 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. That way we can protect the integrity of the show and also protect the integrity of people who actually want to comment in the comment section faithfully. All right. We're here to think, challenge ideas, and grow, and not derail the conversation. If you're here in good faith, then I welcome you. Y'all enjoy the show. So happy Wednesday to y'all. Happy Wednesday. Welcome to another episode of the Urban Lounge podcast. Appreciate y'all, man, for so much for tuning in. And to be honest with you, and I also appreciate y'all for supporting my content, man, supporting this platform a lot. I really do. I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. The reason why I'm saying this is because the Urban Lounge podcast is on the road to 50K. All right. We're actually roughly about 1,500 subscribers away from hitting 50K. Once again, we're roughly about 1,500 subscribers away from hitting 50K, man. And I just want to let y'all know that this journey of being a content creator and being an influencer, it is not an easy journey at all, y'all. It really not. It is not an easy journey. It is a hard journey for real. Man, I remember years ago when I announced that I made it to 1,500 subscribers, man, and how happy I was just making that benchmark. Now here I am now announcing that I am on the road to 50K. Then what's interesting about it, ladies and gentlemen, is that from 50K, I'll be on the road to 100K. And all of this was made possible for not only me giving y'all the thought-provoking quality content that I try to push out every single day to the best of my ability, but it's also for y'all as well too, because it takes for y'all to tune into my content. It takes for y'all to watch my content. It takes for y'all to comment. It takes for y'all to like it or dislike it. It takes for y'all to, do what you do. And I appreciate it. It takes the donations that y'all have sent and everything, the sponsorships and everything. It takes all of that. So many moving parts on this channel. And I do appreciate it a whole lot from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate everyone who's been supporting the channel, from my moderators to even you as the subscribers. Even you who are watching in the bushes who are not subscribers, I appreciate you as well too, because I'm just letting you know that even by you just watching and not saying nothing, it helps the channel. Even by you clicking on this video one time and watching it for about 5 minutes, it helps the channel. So I appreciate that a whole lot, man. I really do. I really do, because I ain't lying. I put in, y'all just don't know how much work I put in on the back end to make this channel run the way that it needs to run. You know what I'm saying? And so I appreciate y'all a whole lot, you know. And when we hit 50K, of course, you know, I was thinking about having a little 50K celebration when we hit 50K. I was thinking about doing that, but also there are a lot of things that are going to be added to this channel, okay, including memberships. Now, I could have been adding memberships to this channel a long time ago, but I was purposely delaying my memberships for a reason. And the reason why is because I wanted to incorporate my memberships after when I hit 50K. It is a strategic reason why I'm doing that, all right? So there are going to be many things like memberships, and there are other things that are coming up that I've been working hard on, and I've been planning for this channel and for y'all, okay? So those of you who are not sub up to this channel, I will highly, highly encourage you to sub up to this channel and be a part of the lounge and be a part of the journey that we're going through the lounge, all right? Because there are a lot of great things that are happening with this channel, okay? A lot of things on the back end that is happening, that I am doing on the back end that's happening. And I'm telling y'all, it's going to be beneficial to you. Normally, it's going to be informative. Normally, it's going to be life-changing, but it's also going to be entertaining as well, too. So, appreciate y'all a whole lot. I really do, from the bottom of my heart. So with all that being said, I appreciate those of y'all who are tuning in right now to the episode. We do got content for tonight that we're going to react to. Matter of fact, we got a lot of content tonight that we're going to react to, right? And the reason why is because this content that we're going to react to tonight, I've been, what I've been doing? I've been delaying it. And the reason why I've been delayed because of other things been coming up, you know what I'm saying? Other things that I really want to push out and talk to y'all about been coming up. And this been on the back burner. To be honest with you, this been on the back burner for almost 2 months, all right? So what I decided to do is that I decided to combine all this content that I'm supposed to been talking about and put it all into this one episode, all right? So without further ado, we first gonna get into this, y'all. So make sure that y'all hit the thumbs up to support the channel, all right? So without further ado, let's gonna get to it. I don't want to delay it no further, man. So we're gonna talk about this tonight. We got different things that we're gonna talk about tonight. The title of the show tonight is The Harsh Reality of Relationships and Marriages, okay? Once again, it is the harsh reality of relationships and marriage, all right? So all these clips that I'm going to be sharing with you tonight, these women who are content creators on TikTok, they're going to be sharing their stories with y'all about their relationships, all right? We're going to be listening to their stories. We're going to give a critical analysis on it. We're going to, of course, judge it. And we're going to want to come up with some type of accountability and solutions to the stories that they're going to share with us tonight, all right? So it's 3 different stories that we're going to talk about tonight, all right? So without further ado, the first story, we're going to talk about this young lady. This young lady, she was in a current marriage, but something ended up happening in her marriage, all right? Something ended up happening in her marriage where she decided to do something very drastic in her marriage, all right? So let's view this clip real quick. So in this first clip, she was sharing with y'all that she was a heavyset woman, all right? She was a heavyset woman and she's married. Now, I want y'all to understand this, is that the reason why she was heavyset wasn't because she had kids or had a baby. As a matter of fact, she don't have a baby. The only close kid that she have is a pet, all right? So she was in a current marriage with her husband and she was overweight. So one day she decided to lose all this weight. So that's what this clip is talking about, Hey, Talk, what's up with it, man? So she decided to lose this weight. All right. So let's start with this, okay? So a wife loses her weight and proves herself physically. She's not gaining confidence. She's not receiving attention. And then guess what? Later on down the line, she had decided to do the following. But, well, yeah, let me show you this first. She decided to do the following, y'all.
My husband and I were together for 8 years, 4 years dating, 4 years married, and I decided to move out in February. And do you want to know how many times in the now 3 months that we've been separated that he's begged me to come back, told me how much he loves me, how much he wants to make it work, how much he misses me and our dog? 0.
So check this out. What ended up happening is that she started feeling that she wasn't happy in the relationship. In fact, she started using the normal modern woman excuse, saying that she was in a abusive relationship. But she wasn't in a physically abusive relationship. She was saying that she was in a mental abusive relationship. So after when she did what she did, she lost her weight. She started going to school, right? Which we're going to find out about that in a few moments. That she normally went to school. She went to one college. She was getting her master's degree and all these different things, right? She ended up started making more money. And finally, she decided to call it quits in this relationship. She decided to move out. But it doesn't stop right there.
0 times has he tried. It actually took less than a week for me, or less than a week from me moving out for him to be on Tinder. So I am just, continuing on, and he obviously doesn't give a shit about me. So with every day that passes, I'm more and more sure of my decision to file for divorce. In my head, my heart is still catching up, but it'll get there. And I think my intention with sharing this with you is just being vulnerable. And maybe the internet isn't always the best place, but in the times that I have chosen to be vulnerable with people are some of the best moments that I've had in making friends, in meeting new people. So I think there is value to sharing what I'm going through, because maybe I can help somebody else not go through the same thing. So yeah, he obviously doesn't want me back, and I'm not going back. So this is my life now.
So once again, check this out. After when she did all these things, right, she decided to leave out the house and she decided to file for a divorce. While in the process of filing for the divorce, her husband was like, you know what, forget it. It is what it is. I'm just going to go ahead and move on. And that's what he's currently doing right now. But in this particular clip, she's upset because she feel like even though she the one who initiated the divorce, she the one who initiate moving out, okay, which it deals with, let's call it for what it is, irreconcilable differences. And that's the normal thing that these type of modern women would say, right? So due to irreconcilable differences, right, she moved out, but at the same time, she want this dude to beg for her, to fight for her, to beg for her to come back. But old buddy said, nope, I ain't doing it.
That's bullshit.
I'm not doing it at all. Nope. I'm going to go ahead and move on with my life. So therefore, she's feeling some type of way about this. Okay. Now, here's another clip where she's actually talking about, her degrees and different things like that. You know what I mean?
I'm a PhD.
Okay, if you're in grad school and you work full-time, please watch this and let me know. So I work full-time usually more than full-time, because I'll go in on Saturdays and I'll stay late. I just got a promotion at work, and I have been working on my master's of accounting online, and it's hard. It is just a struggle to find time to do it. Like I said, I work full-time, I have a puppy, I have my husband, like, I stay up to date with I'm super close to my family, so we're always doing things, like, I know it's gonna be a sacrifice, but how did you guys do it? And I got behind in one of my classes, and I can still withdraw from it.
Now, also keep in mind, this particular clip, she is still currently living with her husband, all right? So after when she went through the process of getting the masters and different things like that, that's when she had decided to move out, all right? Let's give you context.
Without penalty, so I can just sign up next month to take the class again, because I have like an all or nothing mindset, but I don't know if I should just like power through it and take the B or the C. I don't want to, because I'm very much like, I want to get A's in all of my classes, but I've done this now 2 times and I don't want to keep putting it off, but I also want to get good grades. So let me know if you've been in this situation or what I should do. Any words of encouragement would be greatly appreciated. Just drop a comment if you're in grad.
All right.
Here's some things in my marriage that I thought were normal that upon leaving I realized are not normal. So one was that I could never depend on him to answer the phone. Either his battery was dead, he was sleeping, a lot of times he was playing his video game. More often than not, I would call him and he would not answer the phone. And if he did answer the phone, a lot of times he would tell me I had to make it quick because his phone was dying and it was like on 2 or 3%, which is just crazy to me looking back. Like, I just never knew, and most of the time he was not going to answer the phone. Another thing is that he could go days without talking to me. And when he would get upset at me, he would just pretend like I didn't exist. And that looked like I would be out in the living room on the couch, and he would go out into the living room to play his video games, and he would just pretend like I was not even there. And he would go get his own food. He would just, like, sleep in the other room. It was just like I did not exist. And the longest that went on for was for a full week. One time, I had to like beg him to talk to me and to apologize. I would apologize. I don't even know what it was for, but I would always be the one apologizing. Another thing is that when I would go to the grocery store and see something that I would think that he would like and bring it home, he would get upset at me. He would get mad at me if I brought home something that he didn't ask me for. Like if I saw a new ice cream flavor that he might like, or if I saw a snack that I thought he might like and I bought it and I brought it home, he would get mad at me for buying it because he thought it was a waste of money. On top of that, in the 4 years we were married, he never went to the grocery store with me once. So that's a small list of some of the things. I mean, I knew they weren't normal, but I kind of just dealt with it because I loved him. But yeah, tell me what you thought was normal in your relationship, and then after you left, you realized it was not.
So let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So based on the current clips that I shared with you right up to this clip, what do you think is going on in this situation? Do you believe that it was very, very valid for her to exit out of the relationship like she did? Not only exit out, but also to file a divorce. Do you believe that this is very valid for her to do this? All right. Now, so far, we done heard her claims, right? We done heard that the reason why she was doing what she's doing is because, first of all, her and her husband was physically, mentally disconnected from each other. Okay. Whenever she tried to strike up a conversation, he'll either ignore her or he probably won't talk to her at all, period. He will isolate himself and, do other activities such as play video games or, other activities that doesn't involve her. So her response to this is that it appears that in a weird way, she was started to develop what is known as Stockholm Syndrome, where she's trying to figure this thing out. She's trying to say that maybe I'm the problem. I'm the issue. So let me do things to rectify this. Let me go to the store and buy things that he likes. Let me try to communicate to him about certain things, right? Let me try to communicate to him finally how the way I feel in this situation. So once again, those of y'all who are watching right now, those of y'all who are in the chat right now, what do you think about this situation? Do you think that what she's going through is very valid for her to feel this way? Is very valid for her to go ahead and separate and file the divorce? A matter of fact, let me challenge y'all on this as well too. What do y'all think is going on with her husband overall? And I really want this to be focused on the men as well, all right? So let's say in this sense, right, that you were the man in this relationship, right? And you are doing these things to her. So what would be your reasoning to have this type of disconnect? Okay. What be your reasoning to have this disconnect with her? What would be the underlying factor for you to have this sort of disconnect with her? Now, if I put myself into this scenario, right, into the situation, and she was explaining this, right, this will be my honest reason why I would have a disconnect with her. First of all, my honest reason is that I have did everything possible to make sure that she's been taken care of, right? I've been making sure that she's been, receiving support and her peace, with her, working and going to school, even though the school thing is causing us hell of a lot of debt, but I'm being supportive behind it. I'm doing everything possible to be that support group, be that support person for her. But yet it's still by me doing that right, by me giving this right, I believe that she was reciprocated in return. I believe that she started becoming self-centered. I believe that she became so hyper-focused on herself rather than the overall marriage. I believe that when she had lost that weight, it wasn't just because I said something about it, but she did it intentionally because it was something that she wanted the attention on, but not just me. Even with the education and stuff, it ain't necessarily something that is going to benefit us. It's something that's solely going to benefit her. And so all of these things that I'm mentioning right now, she's not reciprocated. She's not giving me the time. She's not giving me the effort. She's not giving me the affection, the intimacy, or anything like that. She's not interested in things that I enjoy doing. Because in this case, she's saying that her husband enjoy, separating, playing video games, whatever. She's not participating in that. She's not grabbing the controller and playing the video game with me, or at least fix me a damn sandwich while I'm playing the video game. I'm just saying. God damn. Because she believed that playing video games is immature, like a lot of these type of women believe. A lot of these type of women believe that playing video games is immature and you have to be a childish dude to do it. Not understanding that some people, they play video games for two reasons. They do it simply because it's a hobby. It helped them escape, get away from the world. No different from them watching TV, watching reality shows, or taking up some other type of hobby that they love doing, like going shopping or whatever the hell you like doing. These particular men like playing video games. That's their release. That's their outlet. So they don't have to deal with the world. The second thing is that playing video games equals revenue. If he's that type of gamer, he could be making money doing this. It could be a second income. So I believe this. I believe that since she was saying these things, right, I believe that she wasn't reciprocating. But let's continue, y'all. She got another clip that she wanted to let us know about.
I didn't know that I was being abused until after I moved out. I went to my therapist and I described to her the dynamics of our relationship, what he would do to me, what he would say to me, the way he would say it. And she kind of just point blank told me, like, yeah, that's psychological, emotional, mental, financial, like almost hitting all of them. And I didn't know. I thought that my relationship was just like, you know, I knew it wasn't healthy. I knew it wasn't the best. We had our good times. We had our low times. I didn't know I was being abused. I laugh at it, and I know that I've talked a lot about my divorce, but I was really shameful I was really ashamed of it. And I think that in the church and in the Christian community, there's a bad stigma. And I'm not saying get divorced for any reason, but I think a lot of times we idolize marriage over the health and safety of women. And so I'm going to keep talking about it because Jesus did not want you to be lonely and unsafe in your marriage, and he didn't want you to feel shame for walking away if you know that that is what God is calling you to do. Because I do genuinely believe that God called me out of my marriage, and I'm going to keep talking about it because there's no shame, there's no condemnation for those who are in Christ. And you know, I'm excited for the next chapter, and we can do it together. So if you're walking through the same journey, let me know. Talk to me. I want to hear your story.
So let's talk about it. One thing that I can't agree with her is this. I do agree that in the Christian church, they centralize the whole concept about marriage. Okay. And what I mean by that, I mean that they do it in such a way to where a lot of Christian churches believe that if you get a divorce, then that is absolutely a sin, that you have absolutely transgressed against God. So they push very hard to keep the nuclear family together based on biblical principles. Now, when I was going through my divorce, that was one of the main things that Christian people kept saying to me over and over again. They kept saying, you're transgressing against God. Well, I'm not the one who filed for the divorce. Well, you need to fight for it. She don't want me to fight for it. Why do I need to fight for something that she don't want me to fight for? She only want to fight for it. You need to pray to God and fast and pray to make it work. Well, she don't want to make it work. A matter of fact, if I'm doing all these things, if you're telling me to fast and pray to God that to make this relationship work, ain't that also biblically the textbook definition of witchcraft? Where you're literally praying to God in a evil and intentional way, right? To get something, knowing good and well that it's falling apart. You're praying to God to say, hey, change her mind. Change your heart, Lord. Renew his mind so we could get this thing right. But in reality, sometimes what happens is that we literally do be what is known as unequally yoked with people. Meaning that we don't take the time to vet out the people who we want to be in relationships with to see who we're compatible with. We be looking at all the wrong things instead of looking at all the right things. Instead of us looking at the heart, looking at the character, looking at the relationship, looking at all these different things that is important, what do? We look at what the Bible calls carnal things. We look at how much money this man is making. For us, the men, we look at her body and we lust off of her body. We be thinking about how many positions we could put her into. We be thinking about how many children we could pump out of her. She be thinking about how this dude could take care of her. And all these things do not equate to the character or the heart of the person, where their mind is at, what type of traumas that they done dealt with in the past, what type of baggage are they carrying, have they been healed from these certain type of traumas. What about their upbringing as well too? How the way they look like? We don't ask these type of important questions to vet out people. We look at the corner thing, they get into this relationship and get married. And then we hope that within the relationship that all we got to do is pray to God, that God will help us through this thing that we're dealing with, these emotional baggage that we're bringing into the relationship. But I call it bullshit.
That's bullshit.
And hence, this one of the main reasons why she's doing what she's doing right now. Now, keep in mind, she have not yet mentioned to say the reason why she's actually divorcing this dude other than emotional. Now, she never said that he did anything physical to her. All right? But let's continue.
Tomorrow is my 31st birthday, and today I filed for divorce from my emotionally abusive husband. I was so excited last year to turn 30, and he ruined my birthday. That's not the first birthday that he had ruined for me. In the 4 years that we were married, he ruined 3 of my birthdays. So I am happy. I'm so happy. I'm sad that my marriage didn't work out, but I'm so happy. And tomorrow when I turn 31, I'm gonna know that going forward, I'm only having people in my life that love me. And you don't love somebody by saying that you love them. You love somebody by showing that you love them. And my husband did not show me that he loved me. And so I'm leaving him.
Now, once again, the only thing that she mentioned is that he was emotionally abusive to her. But she have not really yet to articulate how he was being emotionally abusive to her. Now, on the other videos, she kind of hinting around saying that, well, he just wasn't doing certain things I wanted him to do. Okay, what was it exactly that he wasn't doing that caused it to be emotional abuse? Okay. Was he playing with your mind? Was he sitting up here manipulating you? Was he gaslighting you? Was he being a narcissist? What was he doing that was so negative that caused for you to want to divorce this dude? Was he talking down on you? What was he doing? But so far, she have not established that at all, period. Next clip, y'all. Then we're going to get to the comments.
I am a Christian woman who is going through a divorce, and I know people might take this the wrong way, but yesterday was hard for me. It was Mother's Day, and I am a single dog mom, and I know people might joke about that, but I mean it in the sense that I got the dog. She's the love of my life. I got her with my husband, and that was our baby together. We weren't ready to have kids yet, but she was our baby, and we took care of, well, I took care of her. But I never thought that I would be taking care of her alone. I never thought that there was going to come a time when he wasn't her daddy. Like, and I know you can say what you want about millennials and their dogs, but that's my baby. I love her.
I just had this thought. Could it be possible that the reason why he became disconnected with her is because he actually wanted to have a child with her and she didn't want to have a child? And the only reason why I'm thinking about it this way is because of this. Is because throughout the clips that we're watching right now, she is like overly emphasizing her pet. And we all know that many people do this, right? Where they literally treat their pets as humans. Some of them treat their pets as equal as humans. They're treating them as their actual child. Hence what she's saying right now. So I'm wondering this. I'm wondering the reason why he had this disconnect is because he actually wanted to have a child with her, an actual child with her. And that's something that she just did not want to do. And so she gave him the closest thing that he could get, which is an animal, which they could call their child. So let me ask y'all this question on this, based on this theory, right, that I'm saying, right? Do you believe that that is fair? Let's say that if you're in this situation and you wanted to have a child and you're married, and you really emphasize this unknowingly during the marriage, but you emphasize this prior, before y'all even got together. Y'all done went to, y'all vetted phase, like I said earlier, right? And you emphasize this like, hey, I am big on family. I want family. And family doesn't simply include just me and you, but I'm talking about building a family. We're having children together, and I want this X amount of children. I wonder, was that discussed? And I wonder how that conversation went. And I'm wondering, did she fulfill that? Obviously, she didn't, if that be the case. And so now he's disconnected. Because now he's feeling that she didn't validate the agreements of the relationship. So now he's disconnected. But what do y'all think? What do y'all think about that? But let's continue.
I think it just reinforces that I'm really alone now. And I think another thing that's hard is kind of coming to terms with, I don't know if I'm going to get married again. I don't know what the future has for me. And I don't know if I could have even ever gotten pregnant with my ex-husband, soon to be ex-husband. We weren't even trying, so I guess there's always that chance that I knew that when we were ready we were going to try. But now I'm alone, and I don't know kind of if I'm ever going to be a mom. And that is something that I want. I really want to have kids one day. But I think just the finality of it, that I'm not going to have kids if I'm not married to someone, that is my personal conviction. And I don't know what the future holds. So I think that it's hard, being single in your 30s, trying to heal from bad relationships. That is not fun. And I don't know what I'm doing. But if anyone else can relate, just let me know, because I'm not trying to be dramatic. I know that being a dog mom is not anything like being a real parent, but yesterday was hard for me.
Now, I can also be fair in this, okay? Now, in the scenario that I mentioned earlier, right? Let's say that it's in reverse. Let's say that she was the one who wanted to have children and he the one who was delaying it for whatever reason. Maybe it's the one trauma or whatever the case may be. Maybe he didn't want to have a child with her is because he feared that she'll divorce him and put him on child support. But even that right there, I'm going to ask the same question. Do you believe that that is valid? Do you believe that that's fair or unfair? Especially if this was something discussed prior before them even getting into a relationship. Because she did mention this. She did mention on the other clips, right, that their relationship became sexless, all right? And those of y'all who didn't watch my episode talking about a sexless marriage, it's already up right now. I want y'all to go and view that episode after this one and let me know what you think about that one, all right? But yeah, she said that they was in a sexless marriage. She's saying that they wasn't, at this point, they really wasn't trying at all, period. So I'm wondering that, could that be the reason? Is that he didn't want to have children? And that she was pushing the whole ideology of having children. And therefore, he ended up becoming disconnected. He no longer was attracted to her because he was in fear of having a child by her. But let's continue, y'all.
Today would have been my 4-year wedding anniversary. But I am currently in the process of getting divorced because my husband was emotionally, psychologically, verbally abusive and can't keep it in his pants. So I was really worried. I've been pretty down this whole week.
So hold up. Now she's saying that he's been cheating. So why she didn't mention that earlier, that he was cheating? He was doing all these things and plus he was cheating. I don't know about that.
But I just feel so much joy, honestly, and happy. And I just want to tell you that if you're in a relationship and you feel like you're too much, you feel like you're too needy, you just ever feel like they're being mean, genuinely mean to you, I promise you that being alone is so much better than dealing with that. I was so scared to be alone. And I think that's why I stayed for so long. But I promise you that being alone and your peace is worth so much more than somebody treating you like shit. And it doesn't matter what they say. If they continually treat you like shit, they do not love you. And even if you're married, I'm a Christian, God does not want you to be treated that way. And you need to leave them and you will be happier. So that's what I have today on what would have been my 4-year anniversary. Leave him.
So before we get into all this, right, I do want to go ahead and address some of the comments that we got tonight. Once again, salute to everybody who's tuning in into this episode. If you're tuning in right now, at this moment, we are reacting to the harsh reality of relationships and marriages. We got 3 different stories that we're going to react to tonight that I'm going to share with y'all, and I want to get y'all perspective on this, why I give you my perspective as well too. We are reacting to the first story right now, and this first story is talking about this young lady. She decided to get a divorce with her husband due to pretty much irreconcilable differences. She talking about being emotionally abusive, all right? That's her excuse behind it. And then she was also saying that he wasn't being connected to her any way possible. He decided to play video games, then to be engaging in relationships. You know what I mean? Then I also mentioned about the childbearing thing as well too. That may be a factor. All right. So that's where we at with this first story right now. Now, Frankie had said this. Frankie said, playing video games is for kids. The Bible say, as a man, I do away with childish things. Now, the reference to scripture that Frankie is talking about is 1 Corinthians chapter 13. In 1 Corinthians chapter 13, it talks about if I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, and I did childish things. But when I became an adult, then I put away all these childish things, pretty much. That's what he's talking about. All right. But the only thing that I want to challenge about that is this. When the Apostle Paul was mentioning about that particular part, it was dealing with in the context of love. Okay. So in the whole context of love is that you should be pretty much unconditional with your love. You should love first yourself, love God as well too, as number one. That when you love God, when you love yourself, then you should be able to love your spouse or your wife or however way it is. Okay. Then from there, you should be able to love your children too. So it's talking about that whole entire context of love. All right. And so on this channel, right, I talk to y'all every time about how the way people really don't be loving each other. A lot of people love each other out of conditions. Instead of loving each other based on the character, based on them being connected with each other, compatibility and different things like that, they love out of conditions. That's what the Apostle Paul was talking about when it was talking about I spoke as a child and I understood as a child and I did childish things, right? That's what it's talking about when people are loving out of conditions instead of having unconditional love towards each other. Okay? So within that case, I believe that referencing playing video games don't have nothing to do with being childish at all, period. It don't. In fact, even though I don't play video games no more, I don't see nothing wrong with an adult playing video game. I don't look at an adult and say that you're being childish for playing video games. Because, matter of fact, let's take it up a notch. Where did video games come from? Where did it derive from? Video games derive from the original games that happened back in the past, in modern days. You have modern games where people play cards. You have modern games where people play dominoes. You have modern games where people play chess and checkers. Then later on down the line, they start developing what is known as board games. Okay? Well, the same concept, you're playing these type of games and it builds, and all it is an evolution. And so now, instead of you playing these physical type of board games, you're playing a alternate reality, which is known as video games. So all video games is just an evolution of original games. And so therefore, I believe that it is nothing wrong with a grown adult playing video games. But I find it interesting, you know what I'm saying, that women like herself, preferably women, they always use this narrative towards men to try to emasculate that man, to make it seem like that man is immature, to make it seem like that man is not a man, but he's a boy because he want to play video games. I say that's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I say it's bullshit all the way. Because once again, there's nothing wrong with it. Now, let me add this to this, okay? Now, I can understand this. I can understand if playing video games become an addiction, where now you done literally lost your sense of reality, you done lost your sense of purpose, and you done made your whole entire life within video games, where you're not going outside, you're not exercising, you're not working, you're not doing none of these things, but video games is your immediate reality. Video games is your idol. Video games is your God. Then yeah, I could say that, yeah, that person needs to break away from that. But if they just simply doing it as a hobby, it is nothing wrong with doing it at all, period. It's not. Once again, shout out to everybody. What's up, Line of Fire? Send that to you, man. Let's see. Man, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Man, I don't know. Rich Saja, I don't know. 515, I don't know, bro. God damn. I ain't gonna even try, but they say this. Old guys back in the day will be playing chess in the park. It's the same thing. Lionel said nothing wrong with it at all, period. All right. And then Frankie says this. He said, listen, I'm saying playing video games when you have a woman versus when you're single are two different things, my friend. She's done with games and he isn't. Poetic justice. Now, once again, it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or you're single. If that man is playing video games because that's his hobby, and to add on to that, before they got together, I'm pretty sure he was playing video games. So if video games was a deal breaker for her, right, then she should have had said that in the beginning of the relationship. Say, hey, I don't like men who play video games. That's a deal breaker for me. Instead of carrying on the relationship and enter into a marriage, and now all of a sudden it's a problem. But yeah, once again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Playing video games, it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship or not. It does not matter. Now, once again, the only difference is that if he's making video games his immediate reality. Now, I could say this based on her story. I could say this. I could say due to their disconnection with each other, he decided to use playing video games as an outlet so he don't have to deal with her. Okay. Now, do I agree that that's something he should be doing as a grown adult? No. Because I believe that part of being in a relationship is that you have to deal with problems that come into your relationship with that deals with effective communication. That deals with knowing how to communicate with each other any way was going to be beneficial in a relationship. If you don't have critical thinking or anything like that, then yes, that disconnect is going to happen. But yeah. Then he said this. He said they want a man to have more free time to do things she wants him to do. Husbands are slaves to their wives. Interesting. Interesting. And Frank finally followed up and said this. He said women hate when men play games. It's literally all over social media where women are making men get off their games. They must live in a bubble or something. So that's what I'm saying. Look, once again, if that's their deal breaker, then they need to make that be made known in the beginning of the relationship. Versus thinking that you could get into the relationship with this said person and thinking that you could change them. That you could just make them stop a hobby. That's what grown, competent adults would do. Rob was so with it. Rob said this, so we're going to get back to the one clip, all right? Rob said this. He said, how you deal with problems with a problematic woman, though? There are many ways how you can deal with problems with a problematic woman. Okay? One of the main ways is, first of all, developing effective communication. Just as the same as us as men, we want women to listen, to understand. We have to also learn to give that same type of grace as well too. We also have to learn to have discipline, okay? What I mean by this, we have to learn to have discipline to where we as men are not hyper emotional, okay? Meaning that anytime a woman says something that we don't like, we just popping off right then. We have to learn to master our emotions so we can be the leaders. Because once again, we are the heads. We are the leaders, correct? We're leaders in the household. We're leaders in our communities. We're leaders in our relationships as well too, right? So we have to be the one to lead by example. Now, by you doing this right, you have your effective communication skills right. You're expressing your grievances about what is going on, right? And she continues to be problematic, right? She continues to give you pushback. She continues to be chaotic. Then what do you do after that? What you do after that is that you start going through the process of how you can figure this thing out. If it takes for y'all to reach out to outside resources such as in this particular situation, marriage counseling stuff, right? If it takes for you reaching out to marriage counseling, then you'll use that resource to do that. But if you do that, make sure you vet out that marriage counselor properly. Don't just go with any old type of marriage counselor, because I know through experience that a lot of these marriage counselors, they have a very liberal mindset, okay? Where many of these marriage counselors, they try to favor a softball feminism ideology, and they'll try to favor the woman no matter what, unless that woman is doing something extremely crazy. So make sure that you vet out properly this woman. Make sure you vet out properly this marriage counselor as well too. If all of that doesn't work, then that's when you should be going through the process of seeing if this relationship is even worth being into. Even if it takes divorce. If you done went through every process of trying to figure this thing out and she's still being problematic, then ultimately that's what's going to end up with, especially if she is not doing her part of trying to rectify the situation. Then ultimately, divorce or exit out the relationship would be the solution. Then last but not least, and I'm in with this. This still goes to the vetting out part that I talk about all the time on this channel, gentlemen. This part here deals with us holding ourselves accountable. Holding ourselves accountable for selecting these type of problematic women. And normally the reason why we do this is because we always be looking with our eyes first. We're always looking at how the woman look first, instead of figuring out her character. Let us continue.
If you know anything about me,
Tori,
you know
salute.
that I love Taylor Swift. And I've loved her since I was like 11 when I first heard Tim McGraw. So she's been with me through everything. And a lot of those love songs I used with my ex. Actually, Lover was our first dance. We went to the Eras Tour together. And we went to the premiere of the Eras Tour movie. And I met Taylor with him. So, there's a lot of connections. But I think if there's one thing that's true, it's that everything can have a new meaning. And I haven't listened to a lot of the love songs. I think in time I will be able to. But that was a moment in my life. And that
Now, I purposely share this clip. It don't have nothing to do with this particular conversation, but I share this clip because I know my moderator Lionel likes Taylor Swift.
applied to those songs. It did not, looking back. However, she said that she's never going to stop writing music, so I know that there will be more songs to come in the future. And when I do decide, or if I ever again meet someone, there will be new songs that I can relate to. The one perk, though, is that because I was so obsessed with her, I know that anytime my ex hears Taylor Swift, he's gonna think of me. And God forbid his next girl is a Swiftie, because then he gets to tell her that he met her, basically, because of me. So he can't get away from me.
All right, so Rob had follow up and said this. He said, plus most women think that they should be the head of the relationship. Most females are narcissists by nature. Then he also followed up and said this. Women equate not being able to control, stir a man. Oh, I'm done. I tried everything type thing. Now, once again, I understand all of that, brother. I do. I understand all of that. And everything you said, it is very much possible depending on the type of woman that you're dealing with. Okay. Now, once again, this is the reason why I keep re-emphasizing over and over again for us as men that it's important for us in the very beginning to know who we're getting into a relationship with, to vet out that person. Stop being so fixated on just the looks. Stop being fixated on the attraction. Stop being fixated on what you can do to her in the bed. Now, I do agree that the initial attraction is what's going to get you to her. Yes, you should be that way. But that shouldn't be the overall decision making for you to be in a relationship with that woman. You should be looking for her character. You should be asking her tough questions. You should be vetting her out, finding out about her upbringing, her worldview. Do y'all align together? Do she want to have kids? Do she not want to have kids? Is she one of them type of person, like you mentioned, where she's the authoritarian, where she want to control everything? That should be asked prior before even getting serious into the relationship. That should be found out prior before you getting into the relationship. Now, another thing that happened too, and I'm gonna put you on spot on this, men, is this, because I done did it. What we tend to do is that we also do this thing where we see the red flags, but we also believe that due to us personally being a good person, due to us being a good person, due to us having all the resources, the career and all the stuff, right? We believe that through our character, we could change the woman. That she'll eventually change and conform into the way that we want her to be. But I'm telling you, brothers, that do not work. That's bullshit.
That's bullshit.
It do not work. And that's where we keep failing at. So it's better for us to go through the process like I'm recommending that we do. Once when you do that, then you're going to know what type of woman that you're going to get into a relationship with. And you're going to have the choice to choose whether or not you want to be in that relationship or not. A matter of fact, this is a red pill talking point right here. Is it not true that they say in the red pill community that men control the access of relationships? Is that not true? If that is true, then guess what? That means that in the very beginning, men have control of their relationship because you are the one who are initiating the whole interaction in the beginning, correct? It's not her, it's you. We could argue and say that you may find that unicorn, right? Where it be that unicorn woman and she decided to approach you first. But even then, you are the one who controlling that initial interaction. You're the one who making the decision if you're going to communicate with her or ghost her. You're doing that, not her. Just like she just like she controlled the access to sex, her body of choice, right? So if you know that right, why not exercise that right? Why not exercise that option in the very beginning? Because when you do that, it will save you a lot of heartache. To be honest with you, gentlemen, I wish the knowledge that I know right now, I wish I had known when I was younger, for real. And I know this sounds very cliche, but it's the God honest truth. I wish the knowledge that I know right now, I had learned when I was younger. Because I would have made a lot of different decisions, for real. But yeah, once again, that's a good question. I appreciate that. Appreciate the question, brother, for real. And Tori, she said this. She said, how do you, when you have tried everything though, is it on both sides, or is it is it both sides or your personal needs in a relationship only? Let me read the question again, because it kind of sounds chopped up on Tori. I'm trying. How do you do you when you have tried everything though? It is on both sides or your personal need relationship only? Man, Tori, you gotta write this over again, man. I'm trying to understand what you're saying. I really am. More like we're taught to ignore the red flags. Facts. If she love bombing you in the beginning, okay. How is she love bombing you in the beginning? I mean, even then, you can still control that. Okay. Do you know when you have tried everything though? I don't know, Tori. But yeah, once again, even if they doing the love bombing and all the stuff there, bro, it doesn't matter, because once again, you control that. I'm not still trying to process your question, Tori. But let's get to a clip, and I'm probably gonna have to leave in a few minutes, y'all.
I really liked being a wife. I think I found a lot of identity and purpose in being his wife. And I liked cooking for him. I liked, quote unquote, serving him, as we say in church. But I did a lot. And I would say that it was not always reciprocated. I always made sure that we had groceries. I always made sure that, I was washing our bedding, that the toilet was clean. I always made sure we had health insurance, that the rent was paid, that, just that our house ran and that our lives ran. I would remind him to call his mom, to remind his friend to say happy birthday. And looking back, I think that I don't know if he enjoyed being my husband so much as he enjoyed.
Okay, now I understand what she's saying. She's saying, how do you know when you have tried everything to fix the relationship? All right, appreciate that, Tori. Thank you so much. So the answer to that question is really just based on the individual. It's based on you. It's based on your circumstance. It's based on how far you went to try to rectify this relationship. Now, it's not per se an individual one size fits all answer to this, okay? Because I could say that by me doing X, Y, and Z, this is the end result to this. Okay. But just because I'm saying that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to fit to another person's narrative, or it's going to be a solution to the other person. So once again, to answer that, it really solely depends on that person or persons in that situation. What are you doing to fix the relationship? What are you doing to rectify the situation? Have you done everything? Like the example I gave earlier when I was saying like, hey, maybe you should go to marital counseling and stuff, right? Maybe your solution wasn't to go to marriage counseling. Maybe your solution was to get counseling from your pastor. Maybe your solution was to get counsel from your parents or your siblings or your friends, and that was the end result right there. And since you went there and you didn't get a rectifying solution, you believe that the last resort is divorce. So it just depends on that particular person, that individual, how the way it looks like to them. I hope that makes sense. So if you feel like you have nothing else to give or grow from anymore, yes, that could be a solution. If you feel like that you done took all the time, effort, and energy, and that relationship is no longer cultivating how the way it needs to cultivate, not only based on how the way you feeling, but for the overall relationship. If that relationship is no longer cultivating the way that it need to cultivate, is not growing no more, it's withering away, then it's failing, then yes. That could be your ultimate sign that it's time to end the relationship. Hold on, y'all give me 1 second. I'm throw some music in real quick, y'all, and I'll be right back. What song I'm gonna play for y'all real quick? Okay, I'm playing a song for y'all real quick. Give me 1 moment. I'll be right back.
Let me make this shit clear. I'm a player by design. Multiple women, one agenda. No attachments, no apologies. If you deal with me, understand the contract. I execute. DJ Urban T. It's a player life. Baby, forget the hype. Late night, same rules. I don't live that life twice. I ain't looking for love. I'm just here to play right. It's nothing but a player life. Yeah, player life. Player life, yeah, player life. Yeah. It's 2004, that's the era I'm in. Walk in the club like I own this bitch. Scan the room slow, yeah, I'm choosing quick. Confidence loud, I don't hesitate. Eye contact strong, I decide her fate. Buy one drink, that's pocket change. Return on attention, I profit from game. Get the number fast, then I pivot smooth to the next, like I got shit to prove. Same method, different faces, same damn script. Homies running the exact same shit. We don't beg, we don't chase it. We select, replace, erase. Phone blowing up, that shit stay lit. Different women, same damn script. This ain't luck, this discipline. Cold hearted hustle, I'm living it. It's a player life. Baby, forget the hype. Late night, same rules. I don't live that life twice. I ain't looking for love. I'm just here to play right. It's nothing but a player life. Can't play it. Baby, forget the hype. Late night, same rules. I don't live that life twice. I ain't looking for love. I'm just here to play right. It's nothing but a player life. Brunch with a flight attendant chick. Drinks with a nurse. Late night link. Any skirt gets word. Separate stories, separate lives. Never mix names, never cross lines. I don't chase feelings or trigger reactions. Tell just enough truth to keep the shit active. She call it connection, I call it control. I read her insecurities, play my role. Pull back slightly, now she stressed. Scarcity tactic, now she obsessed. They want titles, I want access. They want loyalty, I want practice. I don't give a fuck about fair or right. I give them attention and ghost at night. One thing she's special, I let her believe it. One thing I'm honest, I strategically seed it. Tell her she different. whisper it slow. Same damn line from an hour ago. Yeah. From an hour ago. It's a play alive. Baby, forget the hype. Late nights and moves, I don't live that life twice. I ain't looking for love, I'm just here to play right. It's nothing but a play alive. Yeah. Baby, forget the hype. Late nights and moves.
All right, sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm back. All right. Tori, she said this. Oh, okay, I got it. Thanks for breaking it down. No problem at all. No problem at all. All right, let's continue, y'all.
The benefits of being my husband and what me being his wife kind of afforded him. I was a breadwinner as well, so I made a lot more money than he did. So I think that that's just something that I'm coming to terms with right now, is that I'm not somebody's wife anymore. I'm my own person. And, you know, it's kind of hard. Like, you always have that person to go home to, and now I don't. And so I'm learning how to do life without belonging to somebody. And, you know, it's not always easy, but I'm finding my way. And I'll get there. So if you as well are finding your identity outside of, honestly, a man or any sort of relationship, you can be here with me and we're gonna figure it out together.
All right, so in this particular clip, she's talking about now, since she done filed for this divorce, she's trying to learn this new life. So basically, she's trying to unlearn being a wife. Okay. Now, to be honest with you, I don't agree with the whole concept of her talking about unlearning to be a wife, especially if she believed that she is going to be a wife in the future. All right. I believe this. I believe that what she needs to do is that she needs to go and reevaluate the whole reasoning for why she wanted to be in a relationship to begin in the first place with her husband. How did they look like to her? Why? Why was the whole point of it? That way, when she go and reevaluate that, right, when she enter into a new relationship, she won't bring this excess baggage into that new relationship if that's her desire. Now, if she's up here talking about that she got to unlearn to be a wife, we also got to ask the question, how did it look like for her to even be a wife to begin with in the first place? Because to me, it sounds as though that she's trying to take away all these certain type of skills of being a wife due to this relationship not working. It's almost as though as that she's trying to unlearn how to be a wife and learn how to be a single woman, meaning that she's a woman for the streets.
She belongs to the streets.
That's what it sounds like to me. And then if that be the case, right, what about her character? What about her moral compass? What about things that make her who she is? In her other videos, she kept re-emphasizing over and over again that she's a Christian. What about her Christian values? Does not her Christian values teach her to continue to pursue being this ideal wife? Does it not in the Christian Bible, it talks about in Proverbs 31, where it encourages a man to find this ideal type of wife? So if she's unlearning to do this, right, then how she's going to qualify to be a wife for an actual man who's looking for that?
If you ever find yourself just looking at your partner and being like, damn, can't you just be nice to me? Girl, leave. You need to leave. I don't care if it's your boyfriend, if it's your fiance, if it's your husband. I'm divorcing my husband after 4 years because he was emotionally abusive. And there were days where I would just look at him And it's like everything that I said started an argument, or my attitude was wrong, or it was always something. And I promise you, what is on the other side is so much better. Being alone is so much better than being miserable in a relationship. I was drained all the time. I didn't have any energy. I was ugly. I was sick. I was miserable.
Now, those of y'all who just now tuning in, right, I had shared the clip earlier with her where she was dealing with a weight issue, where she was pretty much overweight. She decided to go on this journey to lose all this weight, and that's how the way she's looking right now. Now, I also made the point to let y'all to understand that when she went through this journey of losing this weight, she was also going to school while she was married to this dude. She was going to school pursuing her master's degree. She then got her master's degree. She then lost her weight. Now, all of a sudden, her husband is being emotionally abusive to her. And then I shared another clip earlier where she was literally supporting this dude. She was sitting up here saying that, hey, my husband was here with me and my child, which is their dog or pet or whatever it is, right? And he's doing these certain different things. But all of a sudden now, she calling him emotionally abusive. Now, through all the clips that I have shared with y'all, right, she have not at once let us know how he's emotionally abusive. What is he doing to you that cause this distress where you want to end the relationship? She ever mentioned nothing about this dude being narcissistic. She ever mentioned nothing about this dude being controlling or anything. She just saying that he emotionally abused her. And now in this particular clip, she's now confessing, saying that she was dealing with all these insecurities with herself, saying that she was feeling ugly and all these different things. And I'm pretty sure that she's probably going to say that her husband was weaponizing these things. And that's the reason why she's saying that he was being emotionally abusive to her. But let's see.
Go home and I was miserable. And I'm now almost 3 months separated from my husband, and I'm so much happier. I laugh more than I ever have in the past couple of years. My friends, my family, everyone at work has noticed that I'm just different, that I'm happier, I have less stress. Like, don't get me wrong, there's days when it's really hard, but I thought I cannot leave him. I've been with him for 8 years. 4 years of it was married, but I had to. And I promise you what is on the other side. And I'm not even fully onto the other side. I'm still in the middle of our divorce, but it's already been so much worth it. And you are strong and you can do it and you can leave and you can live a better life. Because if I can do it, you can do it. Like, I was so down bad, but it was like the blinders were taken off and I'm like, wait, you actually don't like me. You don't love me. You don't like me. You might actually hate me. And so I left, and you can too.
So one of the questions that you should be asking yourself is this: why she decided to go on social media and air out her grievances about her journey of this divorce? Why she doing this? Why do people do this in general? Why? Now, I could tell y'all from my personal experience is this. My YouTube journey has started me doing the very thing that she's doing, or other type of women, or even other type of men. My journey started doing the exact same thing. But back then, when I started my YouTube journey, I was documenting this not because I'm trying to be a content creator, not because I'm trying to be an influencer, not because I'm trying to make money, but I was documenting it simply because, in my mind, I believed that I wasn't the only one who was going through the things that I was going through. And I used it as a form of therapy to help me cope. So likewise, so when other people do this, right, when they go on social media airing out their grievances about their relationships, right, They're divorced, things that they're going through, right? In most cases, the reason why people are doing that because they're documenting that because they are hoping that they can have a form of a parasocial bonding with other people who can relate to the things that they're going through. And hopefully they could have some type of solution that will help them cope and move forward. Because I want y'all to understand this. When you go to traumatic situations, especially dealing with traumatic relationships, right? If you don't have no type of outlet to let it all out, it is going to destroy you. It's going to create a type of new worldview for you where you don't trust anybody, period. Or even worse, you end up entering into another relationship that's like the one that you exit out of. So the only reason why I'm bringing this up to y'all is because I don't want us to be too hard on each other when people do this, when they be documenting the things that they go through. Okay. I want us to at least have some type of grace and understanding the reasoning why. Now, I can also say this because I know some of y'all thinking about this. I could say that some people are literally doing it because they just want attention. Now, I can agree to that because some people do that as well too. But if you're looking at this as the viewer and you're listening to it, right, let's understand this. Let's understand that sometimes it really do be people just looking for an outlet. They're looking for some type of social relationship bonding where they believe that other people are going through the same thing and they're looking for an outage. Hell, now everybody can afford therapy because sometimes therapy is expensive as hell, especially if you don't have no insurance. I'm just saying, y'all. How many more clips we got with her? All right, so we got one more. Matter of fact, we'll do this last clip and we'll go through the comments and we are going to go into the next segment. All right. If you're liking this content that I'm putting out right now, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel. I apologize for earlier as well too. I had a brief family emergency that I had to take care of and it's being rectified. So appreciate that. So let's get it.
I don't know how my last video ended up on incel TikTok, but it did. And I know that the little incel pea brains cannot comprehend that a woman can do things for herself. But my husband was abusive and I left him because he cheated on me multiple times, and he threatened to move out. And he was overall just a terrible person. He was emotionally, psychologically, verbally, financially abusive. And I moved out because I was sick of it. And a lot of people were...
Well, wait a minute, hold up. Did she say he moved out or she moved out? Let me rewind that.
I left him because he cheated on me multiple times, and he threatened to move out. And he was overall just a terrible person. He was emotional.
So he threatened to move out first, and she decided to one up and say, well, I'm going to move out.
Psychologically, verbally, financially abusive. And I moved out because I was sick of it. And a lot of people were saying, what did you expect? You moved out. You wanted him to chase you. I know that nowadays men want princess treatment, but actually, if you've ever been in a healthy relationship, if one person says, hey, what you're doing is hurting me and I need some space, the other person should take a look at themselves and say, you know what, I'm sorry. Please come back. I don't want to throw away our 8-year relationship. But he couldn't do that. And
Wait a minute. Hold up. I'm confused here. So now she's saying that she wanted space and she wanted him to honor that. But earlier she was saying that he cheated.
And it looks like neither would you. But if you want to go suck a dick because you want to be a princess so bad, I'm not.
Oh, so now he's gay. Okay.
Stopping you.
So I'm going to say this. I'm also really, really big about looking at people's body language, okay? I believe that this dude didn't cheat on her. This dude didn't cheat on her at all, period. Now, I could kind of meet with her on the emotional part, the emotional abuse part, if that's the real issue. Before it's him cheating, I believe that he didn't cheat on her. I believe that he had exercised his option when they separated, and by her being a Christian, she believed that separation doesn't equate to divorce, meaning that they're still in a relationship until you get that divorce. So in her mindset, when he went and exercised his option when they got separated, she calling that cheating. But I believe that the dude did not cheat at all, period. Because one thing that I know about is this. I know when a person been cheated on. When a person been cheated on and you love that person, right? You can tell by their body language. You could tell how the way they're telling the story. It's something about how the way their facial features are when they're telling the story about being cheated on. And by her explaining this, right, and we looked at all these different clips, she do not look like a person who been cheated on. She do not look like a person who had her heart broken by this dude due to infidelity. She do look like a person that she wants to exercise her option and exit out the relationship because she feel like that she deserves better because she's doing better for herself now. But cheating, she don't look like that at all, period. Because if she was being cheated on, she would have been going into details about that. But throughout all these clips that we watch, we didn't get that at all, period. But y'all let me know. Let me know what you think about that. Do you think that she been cheated on? Like she's emphasizing now? Does she look like she's been cheated on? Is her emotions and her body language resembles a person who have their heart broken? Because I don't see it at all, period. I don't. But let's get to the next segment. This next segment, what we're going to talk about right here is that we're going to talk about this single mom, all right? Reason why we're going to talk about this single mom is because she is fed up, all right? She had gotten to a point where she's fed up with being a single mom. Now, before we judge her situation, let's hear her out and hear her story.
I can't wait till we can sit down and have the uncomfortable conversation about women who raise children by themselves in the economy that we live in. How many mothers that actually have to figure out a way to make it in a one-parent household with children and just one person that provides, or nobody wants to talk about the moments when I spent every single dime of my money to buy a car that ain't working good no more and I have to buy another car, or when my rent is behind because I had to pay for something else and my kids needed something else more and I have to choose what they need more. Or the birthdays that I celebrate by myself, that I orchestrate by myself with no help from nobody else. Or the holidays when people get lots of gifts and they get celebrated and I don't get nothing. Or when I'm celebrating other people and I don't feel celebrated. When I have to get up on the days that I feel sick and I don't even feel like I got an inch of energy in me to get up and go figure it out. I still have to and nobody is coming to save me. Like, if I knew that life would be this way, if I felt like that every day that I wake up that I would rather die than to live because of the overstimulation of it feeling like it's just me by myself and I have to pull it together just so somebody can call me a strong black woman or a single mother or whatever the fuck they call us. Like, nobody talks about our mental health. Nobody talks about trying millions of times to find relationships and try to settle down and give your children two-parent households, and these people are manipulators. Not only do I have to take care of kids, I have to heal myself from a motherfucking breakup that doesn't go away as soon as possible. Or what about the time when I was growing up as a child with a single mother, with a father that wasn't there? So boom, there goes something fucking else for me to heal from that I didn't cause my fucking self. I'm so fucking overwhelmed. I'm so fucking tired of making shit happen all the fucking time. I am fucking tired. Nobody talks about how fucking strong you have to be to keep all of this shit bottled up, and it never ever gets fixed. I hate fucking working every day and having to get off work and have to go spark and drive all fucking night after I woke up at 6. And then people like, oh, why your hair look like that? Oh, why your nails ain't doing? Oh, why do you have those huge bags under your eyes? Bitch, I'm fucking depressed. What the fuck else do you fucking want from me? And the fucked up part is,
I'm not sorry, y'all. I don't mean to laugh, but she hit that straight Tyrese, man. What do you want from me?
I cannot fucking do this shit in front of my fucking kids because they think I'm so fucking strong, but I'm so fucking tapped out. On the times that I show up to programs for my kids and I'm the only motherfucking person there. On Christmas, when I have to figure out if I want to pay my rent or buy my kids gifts, my car been squeaking and making noise forever, and I can't even afford to fix it. Nobody gives a fuck about us. Nobody gives a fuck about us. And I'm so fucking tired, bro. And I don't know what the fuck to do about it. I've been pushing and praying and praying and pushing and praying and fucking pushing. Like, what the fuck? I didn't choose this life.
You want to know what's remarkable and commendable is that she's having this crash out moment, right, as she is driving, man. That is remarkable and commendable because it takes a lot to do all that at one time, to be honest with you, to be that hyper emotional and driving at the same time. To be quite honest with you, that is dangerous as hell. But
for myself, I made some bad fucking choices, though, I tell you that. I chose fucking terribly, I tell you fucking that. I got more motherfucking issues to heal that I didn't even cause for my fucking self. I tell you that fucking shit. I don't want to be fucking strong no more, y'all. That shit is getting so fucking overwhelming. I have to find time to go to the gym and find extra things to take care of myself because I have to make ends meet because I'm all that my kids got. I'm all they fucking got. Oh my God. When I say I'm tapped out, man, for the last month, I can't even find no rhythm for myself. I've been getting up late for work every single fucking day. I've been picking at my bank account hoping that I can get a big blessing to fix at least 10% of my problems. I mean, I go to fucking work, I take care of my fucking kids. I literally try my fucking best. I'm just over fucking well. I'm tired of feeling not seen. I'm tired of feeling not heard. I'm tired of fucking pretending. I'm tired.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it for tonight in this second segment. All right. The reason why I chose this clip, and she got other clips that we're going to react to as well too, but the reason why I chose this is because there is a narrative in the red pill community that talks about single moms crashing out. Okay. One of the main talking points that they use in the red community is this. They said that it is single mothers' fault that they decided to procreate with the dudes that they be with. It is their fault that they decided to procreate with these dudes. It is their fault that they become a single mom with these pookies or whatever you want to call them, right? So let's have the conversation. What do y'all think about this, ladies and gentlemen? Listening to her situation, listening to her having to be honest with you, having a legitimate crash out, by the way. Just by listening to it and get past all the, the emotional part and stuff like that, because I know sometimes, we get pulled into the emotion. But when we look at this logically, right, what do y'all think about this? Do you believe that her crash out is valid? Or is it invalid? What do y'all think? Magical meat make them do ignorant things. Yeah. Y'all say it's valid? Gotcha. Because I believe that there are many situations where we need to hold ourselves accountable for the choices and decisions that we make, right? And once again, I agree with that. We're big over here at the lounge talking about accountability, okay? But what if there are certain situations that literally becomes beyond your control? What if you do everything right, but at the same time becomes wrong? What if you ran into a relationship and it appears that everything is right? It appears that everything is correct. You done went through the process of what I mentioned earlier in the stream, while I was telling y'all and encouraging y'all to vet out each other, make sure that you're compatible with each other, right? What if that whole entire scenario was happening and you vetted out properly? You're seeing that you're compatible with each other. You decide to pursue the relationship. You decide to have sex with each other. Hell, you probably decide to even marry each other, right? Only to find out that other person decide to do a full 360 on you. Only that person decided that they changed and they wanted to exit out this whole thing. Every work that you done put out for the relationship, everything you done put forth in it, every effort, everything is undone. So I ask y'all this question again. Do y'all believe that this is valid? Because yes, these things do happen. And I want to talk to the gentleman about this too, that these things do happen. Where you literally do everything right. You do everything correct, and yet still the relationship end up failing. And so now you're on social media and you're airing out your grievances. Son, a lot of y'all brothers, son, I've been talking to y'all brothers about this, and I'm still going to be hard on y'all about this. A lot of y'all brothers are in y'all red pill rage moment. Some of y'all are in y'all red pill rage moment right now, even as we speak. And you haven't got past that. Now, you may not have crashed out like her, But you indeed had a crash out moment, for real. Some of y'all probably crashed out worse than her. So I wanted to show this to y'all. This to give y'all something to think about, okay? Because yes, we can sit up here and argue and say that yes, she's a single mom because she chose this. She had chose wrong, which that is fair. She's a single mom because she decided to procreate it and it just did not work out. That's fair. But what happens? What happens beyond that? What happens when the smoke clears? That's the question that I want y'all to consider, brothers. She has some more follow-up clips that I want y'all to listen to too. Now, I want y'all to understand my position on this too. I'm not condoning the whole single mom narrative. I'm not condoning that everything that has happened to her, it was her fault and all this stuff. I'm not condoning none of that, you know what I'm saying? But what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to give y'all a different perspective, a different reality about it. So you won't get caught up in the red pill ideology, always blaming it on the single mom every single time. Because we, as men, also got to hold ourselves accountable. Just as well as she's crashing out, the dude who she procreated with, he took an L as well too. He needs to be held accountable as well too. She has some follow-ups, y'all.
I want to come to you guys and do a video just to let you guys know
Dennis,
what was
salute.
going
Welcome to the
on.
lounge,
For
brother.
those of you who has sent me love tokens via Cash App, they have locked me out of the Cash App, and that's the reason why you can't send any more money until tomorrow. But I have a Chime account. I also have a PayPal as well, and I will be more than happy to post both of those in the video so that you guys can send your love tokens there. I don't know what's going on with Cash App. I just got off the phone with them, so I'm going to post it in the video and in the comments so you guys could go and find it there. My other handles that you can donate to, and I also post a Zelle as well.
Now, I didn't post this just so y'all could donate to her. That's not my intentions at all. But the reason why I'm sharing this video with y'all is because I want y'all to understand the follow-up that she's having behind this, okay? I want y'all to understand this. Then she has a follow-up video after this. Let's listen to it.
Good morning. I want to thank everybody who's reached out to me and sent me encouragement, those who've put support and resources in my inbox. I want to thank you guys and let you know that I appreciate the village. For those who had something negative to say about my video, I personally don't care. I don't have the energy for that. And I thank God for using me to advocate for women who suffer in silence, women who don't get to say anything. But I honestly feel like God put me here to be able to advocate. If you notice on my page, I always advocate. This is nothing new. It's a lot of women out here dealing with these things. So I thank you guys in advance.
Now, it's interesting that she said that women are suffering in silence. The reason why it's interesting is because I shared with y'all, I think almost a week or so ago, when I was expressing the same thing about men, that men, we suffer in silence as well too. We deal with certain type of situations in relationships, in divorces, in marriages, in everything. But what's even more interesting is that more people will gravitate towards the woman when she say that women are suffering in silence than people will gravitate towards men who say the same exact thing. A matter of fact, when I did a stream talking about this, right, when men say that they're suffering in silence, right, guess what happens? Immediately, the men who say that, they appear as being gay, DL, not masculine. They be emasculated. Am I lying about that? Exactly. Let's say he's weak. Let's say he's not strong because he's supposed to be strong. Absolutely. Yep. Not a real man. Absolutely. So, but all these negative things that's been said about men, and I'm just throwing this out here, could we apply the same exact knowledge to her in this situation? Could we say that she's not a woman? Could we say that she's acting masculine? Could we say that she's, what's the equivalent of a woman being gay, being a butch or whatever, right? Could we say that? Could we emasculate her the same exact way how men be emasculated when they say they're suffering in silence? The answer to the question is due to social norms, no. Because the moment when you step into that area, guess what? We are being called misogynistic. We hate women. Even if we are expressing the truth. And ladies and gentlemen, that is one of the main issues that we're dealing with. Now, just like I say, her video, it was entitled that single moms burn out. And I actually did this too. I'm just thinking about this. After when I had pulled these different clips that I'm going to share with y'all about her, right, I got kind of curious. I got curious to see if I could find any burnout videos of men where they doing the same exact thing what she was doing or other women was doing, where they're crashing out like this. I went on TikTok, I went on IG, I went on YouTube, and I tried to find any type of videos to see if men were behaving the same exact way. Guess what? I found none. None whatsoever. But however, what I did found was a lot more videos of single moms doing this, having these crash out videos. But the videos that I have found with men who are single fathers and they're actually active in their children's life as single fathers, they were sitting up here talking the opposite. They wasn't having a victim mentality. They wasn't having a crash out mindset. In fact, they were sitting up here encouraging one another. They were saying like, hey, man, hey, we're single fathers here. We out here, bro. Keep doing your thing. Matter of fact, they were showing videos of them spending time with their children. They were showing videos of how they keep grinding. Like, yeah, I'm going to keep grinding, man. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. But I have not yet seen any type of crash out videos of single fathers crashing out and saying that life is hard. I'm not getting the different support and different things like that. Now, I have heard the men say that, like, hey, I'm not getting a lot of support, but they have not crashed out. They haven't did that, none. But what they're doing is that they'll take an L, they'll figure it out, and keep moving. Keep moving. And the reason why I'm bringing this to y'all attention is because there's another thing out there where it talks about single fathers, where they said that single fathers doesn't experience the same level of different trauma as single mothers. Because the narrative out there is that single mothers, they're doing everything for the child and the single fathers are not doing nothing. They call single fathers a temporarily parent, right? What was another name they called them? An activity parent or a fun dad. They call them a fun dad or something like that, where they'll have their mom and they'll have fun with the children and send them back. They'll say all these things, right? And then they also have the narrative for saying that, yeah, the single mothers, they the ones who taking the kids to the doctor's appointment. They the ones who are, there with the kids. They put them to bed. They cook for them. They do all these different things for the children. Which is rightfully fair. It's true. But they only leave it there as though it's the single fathers is not doing the same as that thing. Now, also, to be fair, in this situation, we are not the ones who decide to exercise the visitations. Feminist women did that through the Office of Attorney General. They the one who created a system for us where whenever you visit the child, it's on the 1st, 15th, and 30th of the month, depending on what state you live in. Myself and other active single fathers, well, I'm not single now, but when I was single father, right, we were actively trying to fight the system. We was trying to fight for our rights so we didn't have to have the 1st, 15th, and 30th of the month with our children. But we wanted equal visitation, meaning that we be with the children, she be with the children. But in most cases, women do not want to do that. And you want to know the reason why? The reason why is because some of these type of women, some of these type of modern women, they have been taught how to manipulate the welfare system. They know that if they pretend that they do not have a father present in their children's life, they could get benefits out of it, including child support, including alimony if you were married, including other government assistance. And the only way for that to happen is that the children have to be in that woman's household more than being in the household with the father. Therefore, by law, it's considered as being an absent parent. So, who fault is that? Because once again, there are men out there who are phenomenal men who do want to be in the children's life, but these type of women, they prevent it from happening. And then they'll go on social media and cry and say that they're crashing out because they don't have support. Not because the dude is an absent parent, but because you're denying him to help you with the children so you could form a narrative. Gentlemen, I'm lying about that. Hell, even ladies, am I lying about that? Be true. Be truthful. Be truthful. Because there are women out there that does this for real, who weaponize that for real. But let's continue.
And I pray that, I make it out of this, because I know that I am. I'm up and I'm at them today. I'm getting ready to pull into work. My eyes are swollen, but that didn't stop me from getting up and going. I had a really great conversation with my children last night about my mental health, letting them know that it wasn't about them. It is nothing that they did wrong. This is just something that we all go through. I want my kids to be able to pinpoint what depression or what
Oh, real quick, hey, Ronnie asked a really, really good question. Ronnie asked, who are men supposed to vent to? That is a great question. So those of y'all who are watching the stream right now, those of y'all who are participating in the chat, who do men supposed to vent to? What do you think? What do you think the answer to this? If it's an answer. Those of y'all who are catching the replay of the stream as well too, who men supposed to vent to? Because I believe that's a very valid question. Who we supposed to vent to? Because earlier in the stream, right, we was talking about video games. And I told you that, men who play video games, I don't see it as being childish. But I see it as a way for that man to escape dealing with reality or whatever, where it is a hobby. But Many women say that it's childish, that men should play video games. So you take away the man video game, right? A lot of men out there, they don't have a lot of other men as support. If they do have a really firm foundation of friends as a support, then they are extremely blessed. And the reason why I mention this is because us men, we're a little bit different from women, all right? Meaning that we choose our friends very wisely. We don't just buddy up with any old type of dude. We literally choose our friends wisely. And what's interesting about this is that it's funny how we as men, we will vet out our friends faster than we'll vet out a woman that we want to spend the rest of our life with. Ain't that something? We'll literally take time out to vet out a friend quicker than we'll take the time to vet out a woman that we potentially want to spend the rest of our life with. But once again, if you have that, then you're considered as blessed for real. But there are other men out there, right, who do not have friends. They don't have a support group. They don't have an outlet. So where do they go? Where do they go to release how the way they're feeling? Now, keep in mind, I told you earlier that the social norm is this. Whenever a man starts to express his emotions, that's considered as gay or homosexual, or he's on the DL, or they try to emasculate the dude any way possible. There's another thing that's been said, which I don't agree with, in the red pill community, where they said that men are not supposed to be emotional. I call bullshit.
That's bullshit.
That is the worst ideology that you could tell a man, is for him not to be emotional. I'm going to let y'all know this, brothers. It is okay for you to be emotional, but it's not okay for you to be hyper emotional, because it's a difference between the two. Being emotional is what makes you a human, period. You were built to have emotions. You're built to laugh. You're built to cry. You're built to grieve. You're built to be upset. You're built to have jealousy, envy, all these different type of emotions. You're built to have these things, and there is nothing wrong with expressing these type of emotions healthy. But when you are expressing this and it becomes hyper emotional, where your emotions overcome your logic and reasoning, then yeah, it becomes a problem. So don't listen to these false narratives where, you have these other men, or hell, there being some women that say that crazy stuff too. Talking about men aren't supposed to be emotional. Nah, bullshit.
That's bullshit.
Don't listen to that. To be quite honest with you, this is the reason why a lot of our brothers, really, when they do crash out, I put it this way. Whenever our brothers do actually crash out, they crash out, meaning that these dudes end up becoming psychopaths, sociopaths, where they end up unaliving people. We done seen it. We done seen it on the news where this dude ended up unaliving his girlfriend or his wife, then unaliving himself. We done seen it countless of times happening. Unalive his girlfriend or wife, unalive the kids, then unalive himself. All because this dude done crashed the hell out. Because he was taught to bottle his emotions in. Men don't supposed to feel anything. I believe that what we should do for each other is that we need to teach each other how to cope with our emotions healthy. We need to teach each other how to process our emotions, where we let these emotions out, that afterwards we can use logic and reasoning to come up with certain solutions depending on the type of emotions that you're feeling. I believe that we need to teach our sons the same exact thing. This is the reason why, like a lot of y'all are either my age or some of y'all are older, right? A lot of y'all say this narrative too, to my man, this generation, some bullshit.
That's bullshit.
This generation tripping. I mean, yeah. When you're teaching your young men to not have any emotions, to not have no feelings, this is the end results. So, yeah. So I believe that we need to teach our younger men, the younger generation, that it's okay to have emotions. But we need to teach them how to process their emotions. Because if we're not doing that, then guess what? We're failing them. That's a part of us being men, being leaders and protectors and providers. Right? Every time I vented to my girl, it came back to bite me. And I agree with you on that, brother. And that's another thing, too. Women, y'all got to stop doing this. Y'all say this all the time. Y'all say, why you don't open up to us? Why you don't communicate to us? Why you don't express how you feel? When that man do that, right? At that moment, you will be with him. At that moment, you will hold him. You'll comfort him. You'll let him know that I'm here and I'm with you, babe. Right? And then that man will believe that. And he'll literally give your heart to you, right? Only for you to store that so you can weaponize that later. Let that dude do something that you don't like. What he shared to you privately, normally doing pillow talk. Where he shared to you privately, where he's really being intimate with you. And see, that's another thing too, ladies, is this. When a man literally open up to you and he express how the way he's feeling about a situation, whatever, y'all need to understand that that's part of our intimacy as well too. Now, notice I pause for a reason because that's true. That is part of our intimacy. Because it takes, once again, I told y'all earlier that it takes a lot for a man to trust. So when he's trusting you with this information he's sharing with you, don't be sitting up here going back and weaponizing in an argument. Then you bring it back to try to one up that dude, to try to hurt him because you want him to feel how the way you're feeling. Don't do that. Because the end result is that's when that dude going to shut down on you. That's when he's not going to trust you. That's when immediately he's going to lose trust from you. And he's not going to share nothing else with you ever again. Because in our logical mind, we don't want to make the same mistake twice. Unless we are some suckers and a simp. Or a beta.
Beta!
But men who are not like that, we don't want to make the same mistake twice. So therefore, that's why we shut down. Therefore, that's why we don't say nothing. So yeah, don't do that, ladies. Don't do that at all, period. And then men are, if you are dealing with a woman that's like that, bro, that's a moment where you really need to have a conversation for real and talk about it, regardless of how the way she feel. Now, if she listening and she processed that thing and she's legitimately feel sorry and remorseful and she legitimately want to change and don't do that no more, then give her grace on that. But if she go and gaslight you, right, and have narcissistic traits behind it, sit up here trying to flip it around to say that it's all your fault, then they let you know the state of their relationship. They let you know what you need to do in that relationship. Furthermore, they let you know that even through the process of vetting, that person just wasn't compatible for you. Let's go to this next clip with her, all right? If y'all enjoying this content, make sure you hit the thumbs up to support the channel, all right? So let's continue.
And the sooner a lot of y'all realize that the only reason people like to have access to you is because you're easy and you're easy manipulated, then you'll understand how important it is to be by yourself. The sooner you realize that a lot of these men like you because they lusting after you and they want what's between your legs and they want to touch you where you pee, the sooner you'll realize that being by yourself is more essential. There's no possible way you would want to wake up every day and have to worry about if it's time for you to go to the doctor because you can't trust the man. The person you can trust is your damn self. So sis, shake up out of that shit, okay? Oh, he want me, he love me. No, he loves access to you because you're easy. You're an easy bake oven. You're an easy bake oven. The reason I'm single is because I have boundaries and motherfuckers can't even match up with me because they don't want to talk. They want to have sex with me and I don't want to have sex, so I'm no fun because I'm not accessible. So stop being so fucking accessible because it's going to keep getting your heart broke. You're settling and I hate that for you. Hate it. Hated it.
Now, even though she's making this focus on women and making women make choices, I wanted to share this clip with y'all gentlemen is because I believe that y'all should have the same sentiment on the cool though. I believe that y'all need to have dick control on the cool though. I really do. I really believe that we have to have a form of boundaries and restraint. And the reason why I'm telling y'all this, brothers, is because in this modern day time, these type of modern day women, they're weaponizing their bodies against us. Okay? In this modern day time, these particular type of modern day women, they're using their bodies against us to get whatever it is that they want to get out of you. That's why I keep re-emphasizing over and over again that the looks is the initial attraction, but don't get caught up on her look. Don't get caught up on her body. Furthermore, don't get caught up about the whole sexual act or experience too. Because when you get caught up on that, then she will use that as a form of control. A matter of fact, when I did my stream the other night, when I was talking about I shared y'all my story about being in a 6-year sexless marriage, okay? Not in the marriage that I'm in right now, but in my previous marriage. In the last 6 years of my previous marriage, right, we was in a sexless marriage where this woman was literally weaponizing her body to her benefit. And so I was putting y'all on game about that is that, yeah, there are women that indeed do that. Because I told y'all that women do control the access of sex. And so they would do this to you, gentlemen. And y'all know I'm not lying about this. You know I'm telling the truth. They will give you phenomenal sex. They will give you porn level sex. The reason why they do that is because they want to do what us old people back in the 80s and 90s called being sprung. They want you to be sprung out on that coochie where you would do anything for that coochie. But gentlemen, you have to want to set boundaries for yourself. If these women are setting boundaries for themselves, you got to set boundaries for yourself as well too. Including not allowing yourself to be objectified by these said type of women.
and I want to have a heart to heart with y'all. And I'm saying this as sincerely as I can. And this is for my family. This is for people who's connected to me that ran into my video that I shared on TikTok. I didn't share it for y'all. That's why I didn't share it on my regular pages. But I want y'all to know something. When you calling somebody's family member to discuss something going on with them, you have to make sure that you are the village that they're willing to speak to. Y'all should ask yourselves questions sometime. Have I created a safe place for this person to come to me and talk to me? Also, in the process of having a safe place in the village, if you have never called me a day in your life to check on me to see if I was still breathing, still living, why do you care now what is going on with me? That is the problem with the world today. Y'all are so focused on being on in their life and their mental that you wait till there's a cry for help to actually say something or to be there for them. So sincerely from me to the people that's concerned, that's calling my mom, please stop calling her with something that has nothing to do with her. It has everything to do with me. My mom has her own life. Okay, on the fixed income, she has her own life, her own things to worry about. And if I didn't feel safe going there, you can't make me talk to somebody I don't want to talk to. So if you want to help us as a single parent that's overworked, overstimulated, and burned out, you have to be a safe place. A lot of us don't have a safe place because as soon as we break down and we are in the state that we're in, I am in, like I've been in the last few days, the first thing y'all say is, oh, pray about it. Oh, things are going to get better. Oh, I was a single mama. It happened to me. I just sucked it up. I'm not you. It's a lot of women under this post, millions of people, millions of women who said, thank you for saying what I couldn't say. Do you know that this is a real problem? My calling is to advocate. And if advocate looks like tears, people want real interaction. People want to connect with people that's really going through some things. Social media is full of people faking a life that they don't live, acting like life is so good when we live in an economy where life is so bad for people. Like, be real about it. So stop calling my mom with concerns about me when you ain't called me a day in your life to check on me. My biggest village are strangers. That's always how it is. A lot of the things I have is because of strangers. It's not because of family supporting me. When I was celebrating things in my life, family wasn't showing up for me. So I want y'all to understand that this village that I've created is for me. I don't care about embarrassing myself. Being vulnerable is not embarrassing. Who told y'all that? Who told y'all that? Like, people need more vulnerable people. Life is not okay all the time. People need to be able to relate to people. This is their way of relating. So please stop running your mouth and talking to people about a village you're not even a part of. Thank you.
So let's talk about it, ladies and gentlemen. All right. First of all, let me ask y'all this question. How y'all feel about her whole rant about being a safe place? Her whole rant about how family could be disconnected from you, especially when you're going through certain traumatic experiences. How y'all feel about that? A matter of fact, have y'all dealt with that before? Have y'all dealt with a situation where family will be over judgmental with you? Or the worst case scenario is that family will separate from you, but at the same time, they judge you behind the scenes. Have y'all ever dealt with when you was going through a situation with, alleged family, right? You're looking for the support from your family, or as she called the village, right? That village wasn't present. Have y'all ever dealt with that before? Prolific, what's up with it? Have y'all ever dealt with that before? Now, through my journey when I was going through my divorce, I most definitely can relate to what she's talking about. I can relate where the support that I thought I had, in reality, I didn't have it at all, period. I can relate where family will overjudge a situation instead of just understanding the situation. I can understand also where you want to invent a new village. Because the current village that you want to be in is just not been supportive at all, period. I believe that many of you have probably been through this situation. You've been through this situation and you're trying to figure things out, asking for support, and it just wasn't there. Not because they didn't know what you was going through, but they just choose not to do it because you didn't fit with their worldview. Those of y'all who are over here, right, I had expressed to y'all that in my past, I was a associate pastor, all right? So by me being an associate pastor, I had a lot of these expectations that people was looking for me to do. When I went through my divorce and stuff, right, the expectations started becoming unrealistic expectations. It became so much so where I started being judged harshly instead of understanding. People told me that I turned my back on God. I done backslid because I'm going through a divorce. All kind of crazy. You know the crazy bullshit people say, especially religious people. But keep in mind, all of that was my support group. So in these situations, what I learned is this. I learned that it's okay in this moment to be on your own. I learned that it's okay to just be, if you believe in a God, right, it is okay for you to be by yourself and with God. Because sometimes family will disappoint you. Family will turn a blind eye on you. Family will demonize you. They really will. And you know good and well that you're not this person or this character that they portraying you to be. They're only looking from the surface level. But it's a sad story. Let's see. I want to go ahead and segue into the final segment, all right, for tonight. Once again, appreciate everybody who's tuning in to the stream right now. We are talking about the harsh reality of relationships and marriages, all right? And we're using these different women experiences to learn from it, okay? We're not doing it not only just to judge them, but we're also trying to learn from these different experiences, okay? Where we're not over here, where we try to use a lot of red pill talking point and narratives where it's about, well, they deserve this, they deserve that. We're not trying to do that, okay? But we're sharing these stories because I want you, preferably men, to be aware of what's going on. And I want you to have a different logical way of thinking, all right? Where you don't have to think that every woman is the same or they fit into the same category as modern women like we talk about, okay? There literally are women who literally are dealing with situations out there, and to be quite honest with you, gentlemen, it's simply because our other brothers, let's keep it real, some of our other brothers have made horrible decisions. Some of our other brothers have had a horrible upbringing, and they bringing that into the relationship as baggage. And some of these women end up suffering from it. And yes, I know, brothers, I know it is the exact same way for the women as well too, where they can have a horrible upbringing and they're bringing baggage into the relationship. I know. I get it. And I understand that. This final story that I'm going to share with y'all tonight is this. This story it's going to be kind of different from all the other stories that we listen to tonight. This story is going to talk about this woman This woman is a Muslim woman, okay? She's a Muslim woman, and she have this weird ideology that I want to share with y'all tonight, and I really want to get y'all perspective from this, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and read this, and I'll get into the comments after this first clip, all right? So let's listen to her weird ideology. Now, once again, I want to emphasize to y'all that she is a Muslim woman. She practices Islam and all this stuff, all right? So listen up.
Things I do as a low-effort woman that would send a high-effort woman into a coma. I don't make breakfast for my husband. He wakes up at 5 in the morning. Do you think I'm waking up at 5 in the morning? I didn't choose a job that makes me wake up at 5 in the morning, so why do I have to wake up at 5 in the morning to feed you? You can make your own damn breakfast. I don't pack lunches for my husband because, again, like, what's that got to do with me? But then again, my husband doesn't eat lunch. He eats a big breakfast and then a big dinner. Speaking of dinner, though, it's not always going to be hot and ready when he gets home. Sometimes I just haven't cooked dinner. If he really, really wants something, we can just order it off Talabat. I do his laundry sometimes. Like if I'm already doing my laundry and some of his stuff is in there too, then I guess I'll do it. But I don't fold it because I don't like folding clothes. And actually, before I married him, I used a professional laundry service to wash and fold my clothes for me because I hate folding clothes so much. And then when we got married, he was like, well, I don't want to pay for that. And I was like, well, then you're going to have to fold your own clothes. And so he folds his own clothes. I take trips whenever I feel like it. If I need a vacation, then I'll go take a solo trip somewhere. Okay. I usually wake up at like 1 p.m. every day. Again, I'm not working, so why do I gotta wake up early if he's waking up early? If I don't got a job, I'm sleeping in. He pays for our house cleaner now because I had a cleaner before I married him, and I told him I absolutely hate cleaning. And if you try to make me clean the house, like it's never gonna be clean. So he's like, okay, it's fine. Like I'll either clean the house or I'll pay for it. So usually he's cleaning the house or he's paying for it. I don't do dishes because I hate dishes. And I told him if I cook, I'm not gonna clean the dishes after. You gotta clean the dishes after, because the reason I don't cook is because I hate cleaning the dishes. I cook very easy meals because I'm not gonna be standing over a hot stove for 4 or 5 hours a day like I see the other women in his family doing. So most likely it's gonna be like a soup or a stew that we're eating. If it is something that takes a lot of effort, that's just gonna be on Fridays. And again, he's gonna have to clean up after. I'm not doing it. Sundays are my video game days where I spend all day playing video games. Right now it's Assassin's Creed, so like, leave me alone. I'm not doing anything all day. And to balance this out, I'm trying to think of like the most high effort thing that I do for my husband. I can't think of anything. I made him a dentist appointment one time. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Oh, it get worse, y'all. It get worse. But before we get to her, all right, the last segment of tonight, my bad. I am so sorry. I had a super chat and I didn't even acknowledge it at all, period. Shout out to Antonius for the $5 super chat. Appreciate you supporting the channel. Respect to you as well, too. I appreciate it a whole lot. So my bad. My bad on that. Because I seen it and I like, did I acknowledge this? I can't remember, but it is what it is. But once again, before we get to her, all right, let's go ahead and acknowledge this. Now, I believe this Kynes or Junior, whatever the name is, y'all be coming up with some weird names, bro. Like, what the hell? God damn. Why y'all can't make y'all handle names like Tim or Drake or somebody instead of this weird stuff? But shout out to you. I want to acknowledge your comment, all right? The comment says this: men are not leaders. Show me a society built by women. Now, I want to acknowledge that I do believe that our modern day men right now, our modern day men are not in a position to be effective leaders. Once again, our modern day men are not in a position to be effective leaders. What I mean by that, a lot of my brothers out here, right? They honestly do not understand the whole concept about leadership. They don't understand the whole concept about leadership, nor they have not demonstrated leadership qualities, nor they don't have a proven track record of leadership. Now, they may have a ideology about it due to certain type of worldviews, due to, whoever your social circle is, right? But when it comes to being an effective leader, a lot of us are failing in this, brothers, for real. Because we simply are ignorant about it. And when I use the term ignorant, I'm not using it in a derogatory term to make you feel inferior, okay? I'm using the term ignorant to say that you're lacking understanding of, okay? And don't feel bad about this. I was at one point in time, did not understand about true leadership neither. So yes, your boy Urban was even ignorant about this until I started learning about it, until I started studying about this, until I started applying this into my everyday life and started mastering it. And that's another thing too, brothers, is that we have not even mastered being effective leaders. To be honest with you, brothers, this is one of the main core reasons why our culture is dealing with the stuff that we're dealing with right now. It's because we're literally not in our rightful place as being effective leaders. Being effective leaders for our community. Being effective leaders for our families. But don't worry, brothers. I'm not going to go into extreme details explaining to you what a leader is, because I have a separate show that I'm going to do that for you. But I'm going to break this thing down for you. Those of y'all who are sub up to this channel, make sure that you tune into that. And I'm going to break this thing all the way down about us being leaders as men, because we need to get in our rightful place as being effective leaders. Okay, and not just carrying this word around because it sounds cool, because it sounds great when we say it towards women. It's the same concept about us, us black people using the term, calling each other kings and queens and stuff, right? Using the word kings and queens, but in reality, none of us are kings and queens. We don't practice it. We don't operate in it or nothing like that, but it does sound cool to use. But don't worry, I'm going to do a full teaching and break that down for y'all, brothers, for real. Teach you about leadership, because that's part of my framework that I'm teaching y'all, okay? But just throwing that nugget out there, all right? But let's deal with her. Now, once again, she's a Muslim woman. She is telling us tonight that she does absolutely nothing for her husband. She doesn't practice being a housewife or anything like that. So the question I want to ask y'all tonight, what do y'all think about her husband in this situation? Just by her saying this one thing, but it get worse. But what do y'all think about her husband? Do you believe her husband is a simp and a beta?
Beta!
For allowing this type of behavior? Do you believe that he only looked at her for looks and then vet her out, like I've been telling y'all? What do you think? And the reason why we're having this conversation tonight is because a lot of our brothers do this very thing where we get with these type of women, then we want to complain about the results behind it. We want to complain about the outcomes, but we don't want to deal with the overall issues of us selecting them in the first place. Okay. Here's another clip. We're here talking about this.
More things I do or don't do as a low effort woman / wife that would send a high effort woman into a coma. I usually don't really take requests, or my husband has never given me requests for specific meals. Baby, this is not a restaurant, okay? Usually I'll cook what I'm craving, or I'll just ask, what should we have for dinner? And it'll be like, oh, maybe this or that. And if it's something that I'm like, I don't really feel like cooking, I'm just gonna say, no, I'm not cooking that. When I take a trip, which I often do because I was a solo traveler before I met my husband, and I'm still a solo traveler after I met my husband, and my husband doesn't really like traveling. All that making frozen meals and having stuff set out and prepped, no, that is not happening. The only thing prepped is my bag, and I'm out the door. And you know that whole like getting dressed up for your husband, like, you know, he wants to come home and you're made up and you have a nice outfit on. That don't happen. Do you see my pajamas? This is what I wear pretty much every day when I'm in the house. This is probably how my husband sees me like 60% of the time, because I only get dressed up if we're going out. Why am I gonna sit in my house with a full face of makeup on, like my outside clothes on? I just find that weird. I was not put on this earth to be a baby maker. It is my decision if I want to bear children or not. He knows and has known from the start that I am very on the fence about if I want to have kids or not, and that I have some very strict conditions for if we do decide to have kids on all the things that we're going to do before and after having kids. But one thing I was not going to do is marry a man that thought I was going to be his guaranteed baby maker. No, no ma'am. But before y'all get mad at me, my husband has proven a lot that he will make a very, very good and involved dad. So I'm definitely leaning more towards having kids. But I definitely made sure he knew that, like, it's not a 100% guarantee, because at the end of the day, this is my body that's going to be having the children. So it's my choice if I do it or not. Okay, so I should end with something that I do for my husband. And one of them is I actually do like making his coffee for him. I don't wake up early to do it. If I'm up and I'm available to do it, then I will make coffee for him. But I learned actually that the first year and a half of our marriage, I was making coffee wrong. I do not drink coffee. I am a tea girl. So I was basically making his coffee the way that I make tea. Also, he only drinks Turkish coffee, which I didn't really have experience with. But he has been sucking it up for a year and a half, not telling me that the coffee that I was making was really, really weak. I was sitting there drinking it like, wow, baby, this is so delicious. Thank you.
So I asked the question earlier about her husband, right? I asked the question, do you believe that he's a sucker and a beta, right?
Beta!
Now, she just revealed to us that the only thing that she do is make coffee for him, right? And even then, she wasn't doing that correctly. So instead of him expressing himself and correcting her, he decided to be a beta and just accept it for what it is. So we can all agree on this. We can all agree that, yes, this woman is full of shit.
That's bullshit.
She really is. It ain't no way in hell that any one of us would get into a relationship with a woman who is absolutely not going to do nothing. A matter of fact, my moderator have a behavior for this. My moderator called this the Peggy Bundy behavior, or the Peggy Bundy mentality. Now, Peggy Bundy comes from the show Married with Children, all right? So on the show with Married with Children, Peggy Bundy, she behaves exactly like this, where she don't do absolutely nothing but sit up there and look pretty and spend money. And so you could call her a modern day Peggy Bundy. So question, would y'all get into a relationship or agree to be in a relationship with a woman like this? Would you actually do this? Would you actually entertain this? Y'all let me know. Because me, no. Not at all.
My biggest advice to you as a low effort woman in a marriage that doesn't stress me the fuck out and steal my soul is to stop making yourself useful to men. A lot of y'all, when you're looking to get married and you're having these conversations with potential men, you'll go on and on about, oh, I know how to cook this. I love to clean. I'm such a clean person. Can't wait to have 3 children. Men see that and they're like, got it. You're going to be my slave now. A lot of men are only getting married for what women can provide for them. They're getting married for free labor. They don't see marriage as a partnership or something mutual. They don't see it as something for love. They see it as, what can I get a woman to do for me with the least amount of effort? You're sitting there going on and on about how organized and how.
So do y'all agree with that? Do y'all agree that that's how men view relationships and marriage? Where, in other words, it's a contract. It's conditional. Do y'all view relationships like that? If you are a man and you view relationships like that, was conditional like that, I would say this to you. I would say that this is a moment of time where you have to reevaluate yourself. Because true relationships aren't like that. It don't, I put it to you this way, it don't supposed to be built that way. Okay? But modern day feminism have made it that way. And modern day men condone to the feminism where they just give in to it. They'll say, okay, that's why they give in to the whole concept about happy wife, happy life. But in reality, no, not at all. How the way relationships supposed to be, it's supposed to be unconditional. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be you do things towards each other simply because you care and love that person. You want to see the best out of that person. You want to do everything possible to take care of that person who's a part of your life. That's how the way it's supposed to be. But let's continue.
Clean you are, and he's just like, yes, this is my maid now. You're talking about how much you love to cook and how much you love to bake, and yeah, I love to make these elaborate meals. And he's like, great, I have a chef. As far as any man is concerned, even if you are a master baker, you've never touched an oven in your life, you don't know how to cook, you don't like cleaning, you don't really know if you want kids or not, like you're still figuring it out because there's so much to life, there's so many other things that you want to do in life first. Stop being useful to men, or you're going to keep finding men that want to use you.
So she ended the conversation by encouraging women to stop being useful to men. Now, once again, I kept re-emphasizing that she's a Muslim woman. Part of their religious belief is that women supposed to be useful to men. That's part of their whole being on this planet. So by her saying things like this lets me know that she don't practice Islam how the way she says she does. A matter of fact, I would call this being neo-Islam, where it's more of a form of a feminist type of Islam. But yeah, once again, this is her thing. And what's so sad about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that when I was searching this, right, and I was looking at the comments on her page, right, it was so many young women who was agreeing to this. And these are the same type of women who agree with the lady who's doing the sprinkle thing. These are the same type of women who agree with Cynthia G and her ideology. They was agreeing to this. They were saying, yes, this is how the way it's supposed to be. Right on. Teaching women that this is the way to go. Now, y'all see why I emphasize this over and over again, that it's very important for you brothers to vet some more. It's very, very important for you to do that so you know what you're getting into. So you won't get caught up in situations where you feel like that you trapped now because you dealing with this old crazy ass woman who gave you good coochie if she decided to do that.
I am so confused why in 2026 I see girls yearning for marriage. Talking about, I can't wait to get my college degree so I can get married. Genuinely, what is your problem? What is your rush? Why are you in such a hurry to get married? Like, What are we on some sort of like expedited timeline, or is there an apocalypse that I'm not aware of, some deadline that I should be knowing about? Because y'all are in a hurry, and that's the desperation and the rushing that men take advantage of, and it can quite literally ruin your life. It is that deep. It will ruin your life. It will destroy you. Calm down. Calm down. The world is not ending. You are not a ticking time bomb. Unfortunately, there are plenty of men on this earth. But the biggest problem is that you are not seeing just how big and expansive life can be for you. There are so many other things to worry about in life than a man. And you will never know that if you rush into being some man's baby maker by the time that you're 21 years old. A lot of y'all have never even lived by yourselves yet, and you're talking about getting married. A lot of y'all haven't even been on a plane yet, and you're talking about wanting to get married and settle down. Don't even have your driver's license yet, and you're already talking about signing a lifelong commitment with somebody's dusty son. I was 32 when I got married, and even then, like the weeks leading up to my wedding, I was kind of thinking like, I don't know, I'm still kind of young. There's still some stuff that I haven't done yet. I don't know if I'm ready to settle down. And there's nothing wrong with that because men do this all the time. They'll be 50 years old talking about, oh, I don't know what I want. I don't really know if I'm ready for a relationship. And when it gets to that point, okay, maybe you can worry, but y'all are like under 25 years old. So concerned for marriage. And my question for you is, if all the women are yearning for men, where is the space for men to yearn for women again? Y'all are always talking about, oh, I miss the men who are chalant and the men who are yearning. They don't have to be chalant anymore and they don't have to yearn anymore because y'all are doing it all for them.
So let's talk about this, all right? Now, part of this, I can agree to her on this, okay? And I want y'all to hear me out on this one, brothers, okay? The reason why part of this, I could say I could agree with her on this is because, to be honest with you, brothers, I say the same exact thing to you. If you're a younger man, I believe that your focus shouldn't be on women like that at all, period. Being a younger man, your focus should be on purpose. Your focus should be on building yourself up physically, mentally, financially, and spiritually. That's what you should be focusing on. You should be so focused on yourself where women is not even a factor to you out, period. And what's so sad about this, brothers, is this. What's sad about this is that women had took ideology, right, and applied it to them, and now they becoming these, what they call a boss bitch, a boss woman. Where they so hyper career driven, not understanding the reason why we say to do that. The reason why we say to do that is because somewhere on down the line, if it is our choice, right? We want to make sure that we are physically, mentally, spiritually, and financially stable so we could have a family, if that's our desire. Where we're stable, where we can have a wife, so we won't be struggling anything like that. That's the reason why we're telling you to do that. Once again, if that's your desire, do that. Now, I also want to emphasize this too. I want to emphasize that your purpose in life is not just for you to get married. Now, if you don't want to be married, fine. It is nothing wrong with that. Live your life. And don't let nobody, including religion, shun on you saying that you got to get married to be a man. That's bullshit. No. Live your life. If you don't want to have children, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We got plenty of men and women on this planet who could populate this damn planet without you. Live your life. But make sure you're living your life with purpose. Living your life with intentions. Don't live your life because social norms are telling you to live a certain type of way. No, don't do that. No. But once again, these women, they didn't understand this concept that we was teaching each other. And so they took that concept and put it into a liberal feminist package. And now these women are running around her calling themselves boss babes and all this weird stuff. And I don't need a man, but lying like ain't nothing, saying that they really do need a man. Hell, the last woman that we watched, she proved that. But she got some more, y'all. Let's listen up. Oh, also, Antonios, what's up with it again? Appreciate the young super chat for earlier and appreciate the super chat for right now, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Fun fact about me, I have not worked in 6 years, but I just got a job. And the reason I got a job is because I saw this girl on here say that she gets like part-time seasonal jobs just for funsies or just to like save up a little extra money to go on trips. And I was like, that sounds kind of fun. Keep in mind, I hate working. And before I finally was able to stop working, I would usually be able to stay at a job for like 2 weeks to a month. So we'll see how this works out. Also, because I don't like doing office work, I think it's so corny, I got a warehouse job. I'm so excited because why not get paid to work out? My safety shoes came in today and I took out the black shoelaces and I put pink ones. And then I added this, well, I don't know where I'm gonna put this, but I have this bow. I'm either gonna put it on the back or at the front. And make sure, of course, that it's not dragging or gonna get stuck in any equipment or anything, but like, how cute is this? I didn't tell my husband that I got this job until after I got it, and I didn't tell him exactly what it entails because he would be like, no, I don't want you working there. He already doesn't want me working in the first place, but me in a warehouse doing labor, he's not gonna be happy about that. But it is what it is, it's my life, and I wanna do this little experiment to see if I like seasonal work or not.
So once again, he is this type of man that he want his wife to be an actual housewife. Okay. But the bad part about it is that she's not being an actual housewife. Because through the clips that we watch, she says she don't do none of this stuff. She says she don't cook, she don't clean, she don't do none of that stuff. It's almost as though instead of them being married, they're what we call modern day partnership. And this is the reason why, once again, I cringe when I hear the word partnership. Because it's almost as though they're just roommates, pretty much. It's almost as though it's not only their roommates, but they're what is known as a situationship. Where if she decide to have sex with this dude, she's going to have sex with him. Other than that, they just roommates together, like in a college dorm room. He doing this thing, she doing her thing. But he's giving out more than what she's giving out. He's reciprocating more than what she's reciprocating. And that is disastrous. Final clip for tonight, brothers.
When it comes to my conversations about being a low effort wife or a low effort woman in general, I really think that it is so important that we also add a little bit of intersectionality into that. Because one thing I've noticed is that most of the hate comments I'm getting from men and women are from men and women of color. I just had a black woman in my comment section talking about, oh, you're being childish and you're being a burden. But at the same time, white women are always talking about being the Pilates wife, right? They want to marry a wealthy man. They want to be able to just go to Pilates and get matcha and that's it. And no one is ever upset with them about that. Everyone's like, yes, girl, yes. And then that's...
So question. She's making this about race now, all right? And she's mentioning about white women. So my question is this, how often do you hear white women, let me rephrase it. How often do we hear about white women being housewives and they're not doing nothing for their husbands? How often do we hear that? Where they're doing absolutely nothing for their husband. The same as that thing what she's doing. Because I don't hear that very often. Because if the woman chooses to be a housewife, she is still doing things for her husband. She's still cooking. She's still cleaning. If they have children, she's the educator of the household too, where she's taking care of the children. She's doing all these different things. And some of them, even though they not technically working, they have small businesses. They have small businesses like arts or crafts or whatever that's to bring additional income. And when they do bring that income in, they're not sitting up here hiding it from their husband, but they'll bring that income in so it could help support their household. What could help with certain type of emergencies. We can sit up here and say the same thing about the black household as well too, where there are women out there who are housewives who does the same exact thing that I mentioned about the white women do. So for her using this as a race bait moment, nope. Not at all. This is something that she's choosing to do. This is something that she desires because she want a man to take care of her. She want a man to take care of her with the bare minimum effort. And once again, that is dangerous. Because at any given time, that dude is one argument away from crashing the hell out.
In vain, you have men talking about how they want a Pilates wife and they want to make sure they work hard so that their wife doesn't have to work and she can just go to Pilates and drink matcha. But then when black and brown women have the same sort of aspirations, suddenly they're lazy and they're childish and they're a bad woman and they're like disrespecting God. And I even had someone say it was like disrespecting Jesus because obeying Jesus means obeying your husband. So why is it that black and brown women are constantly expected to suffer, to labor, to take care of everyone else but themselves? Why are black and brown women not allowed to live a peaceful, restful life of ease? Why can't black and brown women be the matcha sipping Pilates wives? How?
So she mentioned about labor. I find that interesting, right? Because she just mentioned on the other video what? That she had found a job. A job is what? Labor. Labor is suffering, right? How's it suffering, Urban? You have to want to wake up. Get yourself together. Go into a job. Deal with people that you don't like. Deal with the type of work that you don't like. And you have to deal with that for 8 hours a day, 10 hours a day. Some of y'all work overtime, 12 hours a day, 40 hours a week. Your body be hurting. Your mind be exhausted through all the mental anguish that you go through working at a job. And this any job, no matter what job it is. It could be a labor job. It could be you doing data entry. It could be customer service. No matter what it is. The resource is still the same. So the whole point is that she's willing to go to a job and suffer at a job. But when it comes to her doing her job as a wife, that's her deal breaker? That's her, no, I'm not going to do that?
That's bullshit.
What about her husband? He had to come home and deal with her bullshit too. He had to come home and be a husband, go outside and deal with the suffering of working. So why is it fair for her to not suffer as being a wife, but she want him to suffer as being a husband? Crazy as hell. Nate, what's up with it?
Come if a black or brown woman wants to be a woman that stays at home, she also has to slave in the home. Because these white women that are doing their coffee shop runs and their Pilates and all the little shopping trips and everything, do you think they're going home to slave over a stove for 5 hours? Or do you think that they perhaps have a nanny and a maid and maybe even a meal prep service or someone that comes and cooks for them? But it's not a problem when they do it, right?
Nate, appreciate the Silver Star, by the way, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you for supporting the channel. And so, once again, that is her argument right here. This is her justification for doing absolutely nothing, for not being a wife to her husband. And once again, those of y'all who are tuning in, right, she is a Muslim woman who practices Islam. And she's behaving this way. And now she's talking about people are coming at her in the comment sections, right? Instead of her getting on to her. Telling her that, hey, what you're doing is not right. It goes against your belief system and everything. But she want to clap back and say, no, because I'm the victim in this. Nope, you're not the victim in this. Here's another question I want to ask y'all tonight too. If it's that serious, right, why just not be in a relationship altogether? She don't even have to be in a relationship, period, let alone be married to this dude. Why have this dude suffer when she could just not be in a relationship and use men? She could be a modern day prostitute without selling her body. There are women who provide services out there where it's not sexual in nature, right? Where they go out and be a support for men and get paid for that. Men would pay women to do things like that. Men would pay women to come out and pretend that they on a date. Men would pay women to come out and pretend that they're girlfriend and boyfriends or whatever stuff, right? When they go to a family function, just so they can look good. So, I mean, why not do that? Instead of putting this man through all that. Because we all could agree that at the end of the day, even though this dude is simping as hell, I ain't going to call him a simp at this point. I'm going to call him a beta. He's been a straight beta, right? We all agree that he's been a straight beta because he's not standing up for himself. But even by that, right, he still deserves happiness. You know what I mean? He still deserves to be with a woman who's going to respect and love him. Because this woman here don't do it. We could say up here and argue and say that she's doing all this bullshit because of satire. But even then, she's doing it on social media. Social media spread, especially if you come over here at the lounge. My brothers and sisters, I have shared out a lot of shorts on my channel, right? A whole lot of it. And many of y'all have reacted to a lot of my shorts too. A lot of y'all know about my channel because of my shorts. Some of y'all know about my shorts because it landed on YouTube. Some of my shorts landed on Facebook, IG, or whatever. And that's how y'all learned about it. So just imagine if my shorts is doing that. Imagine what her TikToks is doing. She's sitting up here doing this, and next thing you know, it landed on my channel. And we're talking about it. And I'm reacting to it. Then guess what? Other people are going to look at it, and they're going to start reacting to it. And then it's going to spew like a fire, a wildfire. And then eventually it's going to get back around to her husband. How you think he's going to handle that? How you think he's going to feel? Do you think he's going to crash out? I think so. But before all that happened, I really believe that he need to reevaluate his relationship with her, for sure. Unless this is something that he won't. Because this ain't it at all, period. Once again, shout out to everybody who's on tuning into the stream. Talking about nope, yep. Shout out to everybody who's on tuning into the stream. I appreciate everyone who sub up to the channel. I appreciate all the super chats as well too that was given to me in the silver stars and all the good stuff. Thank y'all. I appreciate y'all for the support. All right. So other than that, y'all, that's all I have for tonight on this particular episode. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this episode. We done went through 3 different situations dealing with the harsh reality of relationships and marriages. Okay. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about this overall. Do y'all believe that it's more beneficial for you as a man to exercise your rights and not be in a relationship, let alone get married? Or do you still want to pursue getting into a relationship or a marriage? What if you're in a relationship right now or married? How do you feel about this by looking at this show and me giving my commentary and giving my reaction to this and my suggestions and advice behind this? How do you feel about this? Do it give you a different perspective about this or not? But one thing that I will tell y'all, and I keep re-emphasizing this over and over again, is that it's important for us to vet out each other to make sure that we're compatible. Because if you don't do that, then what you see right here is going to be the end results. What you're going to see is that you're going to eventually get into a relationship, brothers. It's not going to work out. And then you're going to enter into your red pill rage moment. And I don't want y'all to stay in that moment. I want us to make better choices and decisions. All right? So other than that, appreciate y'all tuning in to the show. I hope the show enlighten you and entertain you at the same time. Make sure you have your notifications set when I go live again. Make sure that you are keeping up with all the shorts that I drop. I drop shorts every single day, y'all. I'll suffer on Sundays Sundays. All right, because I give myself time to rest. But make sure you check out all my shorts that I drop. And also, if you are sub up to this channel, make sure you go to my community posts as well too, because I'll be posting some crazy stuff over there for real. And the conversations be interesting. So make sure that you participate in that as well too, because some of them on posts, I do reaction shows on that too, all right? So other than that, appreciate y'all tuning in. I expressed to y'all earlier that I appreciate y'all for subbing up to this channel. We are on the road to 50K subs, all right? We're at, how many we got left? I think we got about 1,000 more to go. Somewhere roughly about 1,000 or 1,500 more to go. Then we'll be at 50K, all right? So I appreciate each and every last one of y'all subbing up to the channel, supporting the channel, sharing out the channel as well too, all right? Thank you so much for that. So other than that, y'all have a great and wonderful night, and I'll see you again on the next episode.